rigmarole where the wild things flow. Rigmarole, the voice of the fight. Dolph and James are shining the light.
Do you want to start it?
Start what?
Well, we're not. This isn't it.
What?
I don't know.
We gotta start doing better about this.
Are we doing a bit?
Are we?
I didn't think so.
I don't know either.
You're confusing me. No, I'm legit confused. Are we keeping that or no?
I mean, we don't have to.
I don't know what's happening. Welcome to Rigmarole.
There you go. Woohoo!
With Dolph and James.
I'd be the not Dolph guy. That's him.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Dolph.
I'm James. That's right.
That is James. Oh, since we had a big deal about it last episode, that right there, this guy is James.
That's right. Okay.
Oh,
and we have a guest.
We have a guest. We do.
He's a very
guest.
Hey!
You
Stop it.
He's special. He's a special
We
guest.
got to introduce you.
Special.
Special.
Okay.
How
Okay.
special?
Huh?
How special?
Well, we will let the audience know. Well, we will show the audience.
We will show the
We
audience.
will let them be the judge.
Would you like to introduce our guest? I introduced our last guest.
I will introduce the guest.
You should totally introduce the guest.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our very, 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 very special guest
The guest!
is the one and only Anthony.
Anthony?
What's up, people?
What's up, Anthony?
I'm
Yeah.
Anthony.
It's the guest.
He is a guest.
I'm the guest.
You're totally the guest. What's going on, buddy?
Just hanging out, playing Nintendo.
Cock.
Yeah, you got it.
That's right.
That is right. Oh, man. So,
It's good to be here, guys.
good,
Be
good,
here.
good. What are you driving nowadays, Anthony?
I've got a Toyota Matrix. It's like a fucking 05.
Okay. I was just curious. I didn't know if you were driving like a big van or a little van or a small van or a minivan.
Minivan.
A minivan.
Damn it. It's like you and your tiny forklifts.
Hey. You leave my tiny forklifts alone.
Did they have forks or maybe sports?
No, they were just
Was it
small
a
enough to where
forklift?
they could only lift forks. That's what they call them, forklifts.
They need to make us forklifts.
I would love a forklift.
That's pretty. Yeah, I like that.
Just for no other reason but to just have one.
What if it was a little? What if it was a real mini sporklift that like drove around on your table?
That would be awesome.
You could it's like mashed potatoes, and then roll over and give you a bite and stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Reminds me of some like Rick and Morty shit.
Rick and Morty. You know, I've still never seen that show.
You've still
Dude,
never seen that?
seriously?
I've just never been interested
Wow.
in it. Your nos just made a noise.
No.
Yeah.
Was it?
It wants out.
You know what? I think you'd like it all except for the one Freddy type episode.
I've seen.
He doesn't like Mr. Krueger.
Oh, dude, that.
I don't. I really don't. What are you laughing
He thinks it's funny.
at? Just laughing at.
No, not you.
Oh, okay,
Just
good deal. Good deal.
their version of it.
He's funny. Everything has to have a bitch on it.
Well, I mean, that just sounds like America.
Yeah.
America.
No, I've seen a lot of clips, and I've just really never cared for any of it. But that's all right, though. I'm just not a big cartoon guy.
I've noticed.
You know, some animes make exceptions. Obviously, some childhood movies and stuff, but hentai, no.
Yeah, he's not a cartoon person. I still can't get him to watch anything from Batman the Animated Series. But
Really?
yeah, and I'm trying to tell him it's good, and he won't watch it. But I did get
It's good.
I did get him to watch Harley Quinn.
Love it.
Oh, dude, that was a fantastic cartoon.
He
great.
he has decided who his favorite people are,
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
and who
Now,
would those
I
be?
personally, I'm a huge Alan Tudyk fan, and he plays the Joker in that.
Yeah, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Kelly Cuoco, she is awesome anyway. but
Wacko.
You know,
She
it's,
did great as Harley Quinn.
it was funny. Like when I first watched it, I got through the first episode, got through the second episode, and it wasn't until the third episode, and I was hearing Harley talk, and I'm like, that sounds like Kaylee Cuoco. And I was like, is that Penny from Big Bang? No. There's no way she's
Yes.
saying shit like this. And then I, checked the cast and everything, and I'm like, holy shit.
And then I informed him also before that show, they had a Batman and Harley movie, and in that movie, the lady that plays Bernadette was Harley.
That's so cool.
Nice.
So cool.
So
I
it's
didn't
kind of
see that one.
weird.
Yeah. It is weird, but no,
They took turns.
by far, Kite Man is my favorite, and then followed by Bane. Of course.
Of course he is.
I love
I
Kite
could
Man.
Yeah,
see
but-
that.
but Kite Man now has his own show.
No.
Yeah, and it's
Does he
good.
really?
It's good. I've only got like 2 episodes left.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But Kite Man's good, but I like Bane. Bane's my number one.
Bane is funny. He is.
Dude, they treated him so bad in that.
They really
show.
did. Give me back my
I loved it.
pasta maker.
Oh,
Yeah.
So great.
it
Loved
is
it.
great.
It is
And I
fantastic.
loved Clayface. He was also Alan Tudyk, by the way.
Clayface was great. I loved it. I loved the whole
Clayface was
fucking
great. Yeah.
the whole drama thing, and he's like trying to be an actor.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The whole show's good.
it really is. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I want you to finish it. You only got like 2 more episodes or something, 2, 3 more.
Too.
Yeah, you need to
How
finish
many
it.
seasons did they made another season of that,
There's
right? They
3
got
or
3 of
4.
them?
I can't remember.
I think 4. Yeah,
Is
I
it
believe
4
there's-
now?
Yeah,
I
there's
think
4.
so. Pretty sure.
I've certainly watched 3 seasons. I don't know if I watched the 4th one or not.
Oh, well then if you haven't, you need to.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
good.
It's a good show.
If I haven't, I'm going to. Period.
And then watch Kite
There's
Man.
no need. It's just gonna happen. I'll give it a try.
Well, look, the name of the show,
Stupid for me,
the
but-
name of the show is Kite Man. Hell yeah.
Did you just say it's a little stupid for you?
He likes
No,
that.
I did not. That's what he is.
Okay, but you enjoy Space Ghost.
From coast to
Yeah.
coast.
I'm just saying, dude.
course I do.
That's just our humor, dude. Like stupid
It
can
is.
be funny.
It is. But okay, so it's gonna depend on the show. It's gonna depend on the supporting cast.
Fair enough.
It really will.
That's fair. I don't know. I
Well,
think-
some people need more support than others.
although I really think that even with Space Ghost, I would totally watch a stand-up special of George Lowe just being a Space Ghost character.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I'd watch
Yeah,
that.
I would absolutely do that.
Especially if he was wearing the outfit.
Oh fuck, dude, that'd be so good. Or just the cow. Just
I would like to see all of them up on stage just wearing really crappy outfits.
well, I think
Looking
I
like
think,
the
I think, I think
just to
Martin
represent
Croker
that.
died.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I believe so. Yeah,
Then that would be even more funny.
that's terrible. That's beautiful. Though.
No, they just got to put some strings on him, like marionette.
Just Weekend at Bernie's. And
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that could work. it could work. Although Martin Croker played both Moltar and Zorak, so how would that work?
You use audio clips from the show
Uh-huh.
and 2 puppeteers.
But you said you want to see them all on stage, like in outfits and costumes.
Yes.
So who's gonna be
You get it,
Moltar?
dummy.
Who's gonna be Zorak?
You cut him in half.
I knew you were gonna say that. I just had a feeling. That's awful. That's awful. Do you remember? Do you remember the Frisky Dingo?
Yeah, I remember Frisky.
Remember the whole puppet thing?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I liked Frisky Dingo.
Anthony, have you ever seen Frisky Dingo?
Rings a bell, but
Oh,
I'm
dude.
not entirely sure.
Killface is fucking great.
I definitely,
Killface.
I definitely know the name.
Yeah. It's so good. All right. Well, this has been a good episode.
But I can't get him to watch Batman the Animated Series. I have like the whole thing on
Dude.
Blu-ray, and I
It's-
even
it's a
technically
very
let him have
good
my
show,
Max, and he
Dolphy.
just won't watch it.
I've tried. I just can't.
It's
get into it.
excellent.
You are referring to the '90s.
Yes.
Batman
Yeah,
animated
that's what he's
series.
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy and
Dude.
Mark Hamill. Yes.
Okay, look, Dolph.
Anthony?
Batman the Animated Series. Okay, X-Men from back in like '94.
And the 97
Spider-
version.
And What was the Amazing Spider-Man, the one that came out around the same time?
That's just Spider-Man, but
So,
yeah.
so
Either way, all three of those, dude.
But Spider-Man is probably the weakest one out of the
excellent.
three.
it's funny you say that.
I agree, but
It's-
it's still good.
It's funny that you guys said that because, so even as a kid back then, so I liked the Spider-Man cartoon, loved it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I liked. I didn't love, but I liked the old X-Men cartoon. Even back then, never really got into Batman. And I was super excited when the whole X-Men '97 came out here recently. And I tried to watch it, and I just could not get into it.
Really?
And it's sad because I've heard so many people
It was
say
great.
how good it is, and I don't know. I just think that I've adapted, or I don't know.
I was gonna say
Evolved.
maybe if it was when you were younger, maybe the Batman was a little too serious for you back then.
It probably was,
But that means you should appreciate it more now.
I don't know.
It definitely was a darker type of, series, but I mean that's what Batman's supposed to be anyway.
I'd say about
And
90.
they did it.
Go ahead.
They did it like dark enough, without being too much for kids, because it was.
I was gonna say
Fox kids stuff.
I would say about
No.
90% of those episodes still hold up great today.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do. I've watched them not too
Yeah,
long ago.
they're good. I mean, there's one every now and then. It's like, but the rest of them are great.
I may attempt
Well, I went through
one more time, maybe. I don't know.
Dude, I went through and I introduced my daughter to all three of those.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Hey, let's watch an episode of this." And she loved every single one of them.
Same thing with my oldest. We started watching Batman the animated series when she was probably 8 or 9, and then she was like, "Can we watch more?" And we ended up watching through the entire thing.
Oh, shit.
There you go.
Um,
I stopped at Spawn though.
Yeah.
I started the first episode.
Oh yeah,
of
don't do
Spawn
that.
with
Don't do
her,
that.
that's not
And
a
I
good
was
idea.
like, when they got to the alley, I was like, I think we need to turn this off.
Yeah, that's not really.
I didn't remember it being that awful.
Yeah, between all the gore and the fucks and the
The
tits.
sex and,
Yeah.
and the language. Yeah.
Titties.
Yeah.
It was rough.
No, talking about Batman, like supposed to be dark and everything like that. I know how you feel because you're the one that turned me on to it, and
I did not turn you on to anything.
I think we both agree.
I've seen you
about
turn
this
Dolph on before.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Anyways,
Hey,
Anthony,
baby.
Hi, stop it. Have you, Anthony? Have you seen the new Batman movie, The Batman, with Robert Pattinson?
Have not.
Oh, dude.
Principal, actually.
Okay. So
Yeah. Listen to this.
it's very important. So when it was announced that Ben Affleck was going to be playing Batman, naturally, like most other people, I was just like, he's not Batman. He might can like half-ass a Daredevil.
It's fair.
I don't blame him for Daredevil.
Yeah.
No.
But he's not Batman. Like, it's not. And I watched it, and he's a great Batman. Like, he's not the best. He's not up there like with Keaton and all them, but he's not bad as a Batman. His Bruce Wayne was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So
But the movie itself.
the movie itself was all right. It was okay. Now, The Batman.
It was.
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what I'm sorry.
yeah, no.
Sorry, that's what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
so The Batman, whenever it came out, James was talking to me about it. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna watch it.
To be real quick, I thought that's what we were talking about when we were just talking about the Bruce being horrible.
No.
Oh,
And
okay.
no. So we watched. He convinced me to watch it, and I was like, because I didn't want to, because it's Robert Pattinson. It's the fucking Twilight guy.
I was iffy on it,
Right.
but I gave it a shot, and then I immediately went, Dolph,
And
watch this
And
movie.
it wasn't necessarily because of Twilight. It's just he's a smaller guy, and it's just the type of movies he had done. I'm just like, he's not Batman. Now, up until that movie, my favorite Batman had always been Keaton. Just hands down, you can't beat fucking
You want to
Keaton.
get nuts?
Naturally.
Yeah, let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
My favorite Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Speaking of nuts,
speaking of nuts,
this podcast is not brought to you by D's Nuts.
that's right.
It's not.
It is not brought to you by the Hot Cheddar, D's Nuts,
Or any of the other varieties. But today we have something slightly different. Instead of just the hot cheddar, we have.
We have D's Nuts Ghost Pepper. I've not tried these yet. I'm very excited.
So,
No, I actually saw you guys talk about D's Nuts in one of your other podcasts, and I just happened to run out today,
Oh, shit.
picked up a can of the hot cheddar D's Nuts.
is that what are you thinking about
I
them?
know you. Well, I know you're not sponsored by them.
We're
but,
not.
We're not.
They are delicious.
They are.
They are fantastic.
Are you going to try
I'm gonna
those,
put
Mr.
some of
Dillon?
I
these
am going to
nuts
try.
in
I
my
am
mouth
going to try
right
this
now.
here in just a moment. Or maybe I should
And
try
they were
them.
surprisingly affordable.
They are. They're not bad at all. Maybe I should try these. Maybe I should eat some of these and then try to like get back into my story like while I'm eating
Yeah,
them.
that's exactly
It's
what
the
I was
most
thinking.
Delicious nuts I've ever had in my mouth.
And that's saying something.
It is.
So you think that's too many, or
That's about what I had.
all right? So the D's Nuts Ghost Pepper. So they're not bad.
Like I said, it builds.
Now back to what I was saying. So
Robert Pattinson.
yeah,
Right. Okay.
I watched the movie, 3-hour long movie.
Going for a
That's
drink
one
already?
of the reasons
Oh, yeah.
I haven't watched it.
And I got to the end.
Didn't you immediately call me?
I did. I immediately called James. Hands down. And I was on the fence of it about it at the time, but I've had time to think about it, and I've watched it 2 more times since then.
Oh.
Hands down, Robert Pattinson is my absolute favorite Batman.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Okay.
Now, his Bruce Wayne, I don't think is bad. I think it's because he's doing that. I got to be a symbol. I have to be Batman. I have to be this. I don't have time to be Bruce Wayne. My parents, he's finding all this shit out. So his Bruce Wayne's a little more serious,
I think it's more the way it was written.
but I do believe.
I would say, honestly, I think the Bruce is a little bit too emo for me. But
Okay.
that's just the Bruce.
And I really think that if they do a sequel, that his Bruce will be more Bruce.
I agree. But
Now,
the
in my
go
okay,
ahead.
so well, I was gonna say, I haven't watched it for 2 reasons. One, it's 3 hours fucking long, and after the Chris Nolan Batmans, I'm like, oh
We'll
man,
take a
I
quick
don't know
break.
if I can handle a long Batman movie. As far as Robert Pattinson, Twilight or not, everything done, he's an awesome actor. He's a fantastic actor. He really is. I wasn't put off about him being cast as Batman in any way, shape, or form. But the drag out that they do in every Batman, and then now this one's 3 hours, and I'm like, I just don't know if I can handle another one of those.
Well,
So it has nothing to do with him. You know, I expect he probably did a good job.
Well, I was going to say, my thing about this one is that this is the first time, for me at least, that Batman has felt like Batman.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Michael Keaton. But, okay, like when he was like in the suit out in the street doing stuff like that, that's Batman. That's okay. But, you know, at most you would see like, you know, him sitting behind the computer and he'd look through like a few little newspaper articles and stuff like that. And that was about the extent of it. Whereas in Batman's supposed to be like, you know, Sherlock Holmes is like the world's greatest detective.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Right.
this movie, he actually is going to crime scenes and looking for stuff and trying to find clues. And it's Batman. It's finally Batman.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think that's really what it is.
And the
like,
violence was good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Was you get to see the full spectrum of Batman finally, like not just the violence, not just the darkness, but also the detective work that he does. Like he's supposed to.
No parents.
Oh man. So Anthony, you watched the last episode? You said.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Any comments on any of those old stories?
Actually, I think he does. He has a comment about LRS Fest.
Oh yeah. So I remember going to those strip clubs with you guys,
Yes, sir.
and I remember being the dude.
You were the
Actually,
dude.
I was the dude.
Well, we didn't sure if you wanted to be named,
and
so
that's okay. That's okay. I don't give a shit.
okay.
So
From now on.
so Karma. Yes, I remember Karma
Mm-hmm.
vividly.
Vividly.
She did go to LRS Fest. Actually,
I remember us not
And-
seeing her.
well, that's because we were looking for her. Now, when a whole bunch of us were over sitting by the fountain, on those big cocoa slabs or whatever,
Yeah.
she saw me, and she ran towards me and leaped on me, and sat in my lap with my girlfriend sitting next to me, and she got pissed.
That's funny.
It did not go over well.
I was gonna
So
say,
yeah,
at that point
she
in
did
time,
come.
because I don't remember that. I was probably in a mosh pit.
You probably were, because I introduced everybody, but I don't believe you were sitting there.
Do you remember us having a wrestling match in a mosh pit?
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
It was beautiful. We just like told everybody to stand back.
Yeah, everybody backed up, and they thought we were just gonna mosh in the middle because that was happening.
Yeah.
They'd get like one big guy, and then someone would come in. They challenge each other. And
Yeah.
we did that, and then we just started having a wrestling match in the middle of this big circle.
Yeah.
And we would use
Nice.
the people as ropes.
Yes,
We'd like throw
we
each
did.
other, and then they'd push back, and we'd like clothesline and do
Oh,
like
yeah.
power bomb and a suplex and all
Yeah,
types
some
of stuff.
random dude asked me to rock bottom him.
I remember, and
Yeah.
then he didn't want to get up because he was like,
Yeah, it was
and
great.
it was great.
Oh, wait a minute, that kind of rings a bell. That wrong. Where was this? What concert was this?
That was
LRS
at,
Fest.
one of the LRS Fest.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one.
One of the others. Okay.
That might have been your first one,
'Cause
maybe.
Wasn't my first one. Well,
I
maybe it
don't,
was.
I don't know if I saw that, but
It
I
might have
remember you
been.
telling me about it.
It was cool.
It was fucking great. It was awesome. I told somebody about that not too long ago, actually. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
I remember at the second LRS Fest, me and some of my buddies from high school skipped school, and we just left, and we went over to Louisville for the LRS Fest. We snuck in too. We didn't pay. Fuck it. And we were really into hacky at that time.
Hacker!
And there
Hacky
was,
set.
we showed up. There was like 5 of us, and we listened to the first band. I was like, yeah, it's okay. So let's go play hacky. So we started a hacky circle, and then we wound up with the biggest hacky circle I've ever seen. There was between 20 and 30 people.
I've been in a
In
couple
this
ones
hacky
that were
circle.
big. I don't know if it was quite 30 people, but I've been in at least,
We-
15 to 20.
Yeah.
Well, we had
Mostly at
least
concerts.
2, possibly 3 middle people. It was so big.
That's awesome.
And I mean, dude, it was just shoulder to shoulder. It's the biggest one I ever saw. And we started it, and then more stoners would come up and be like, "You, let me play some hacky," and I fucking go over there.
Well, the cool thing
You
about
know?
that was not only did you get more hacky players, but most likely that means you got more free pot.
There was a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
So Anthony, I know this is it's a little late in the game here, but I'm really digging the Hellfire Club shirt.
Oh yeah, man. I'm all about Stranger Things.
Yeah. It's a great show.
I have 2 actually. I have this one and I have the black one.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, did you watch?
I had originally went to get this one and they were sold out, so I had to get the black one. And then I got this one, I think, for Christmas.
Did you watch one or both of those movies last night?
Oh, I only made it through Deadpool. Yeah.
Oh, what'd you think?
It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
It was good.
It was really
very
good.
I thought you would like
I
it.
had a heart on the entire movie. It was awesome.
I think my favorite thing in there is the whole fight inside the Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved it.
Yeah.
With the grease playing in the background.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
good. The soundtrack, dude, they killed me.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely killed me. I loved it.
And you saw your cameo guy that you wanted to see.
Who was he
I
waiting
did.
on?
I seen them all.
Who was he waiting on?
He was waiting on Mr. Snipes.
Yep.
Really?
Well, yeah, I was happy
And
about
as
it.
old,
I mean,
as old as that fucker is, dude, he looked awesome. I'm so happy for him.
I just like the some motherfucker still trying to ice skate uphill.
yeah, that was
Right?
funny.
Yeah, he
So-
used it. I was like, ah.
So don't,
And believe it or not, Channing Tatum, dude. He
Oh,
did
yeah.
great.
I loved it.
He did
He
great.
Did a great Gambit.
I've heard a
I
couple
was
of people
really
now.
impressed with that.
I've heard a couple of people now give his Gambit so much shit, and I'm like, that's what Gambit's supposed to sound like.
Well, it's not just that, but if you've actually talked to like real Cajun people,
That's how they talk.
I mean, it's not perfect,
Yeah,
but it's
you-
close. It's his. I mean, he's got family.
Yeah.
He did a very good job.
Well,
I love
really did.
Fantastic.
It wasn't just that. I'd seen a behind the scenes thing where he was doing all that fight choreography.
Yeah, yeah.
He was, and he did it well.
You can tell it's him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously there's some CGs in that fight scene, but when he's spinning and kicking and all that shit,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
all him.
tell It's actually him.
I will say the only issue I did have with Gambit had nothing to do with the actor or the acting or anything like that. There was something about the wardrobe that just
No, he had the full headstock and everything. I was happy.
No, he looked
I thought they did well.
It made
Thought
him
they
look a
did well
little
for that.
pudgy. I'll give it that.
to me it looked more like a Halloween costume than like a superhero costume.
So does
I
the
think the
actual
problem
Gambit
is-
outfit, though.
I don't know.
I think the problem that you're referring to is the purple was a little bit shiny. It kind of threw it off a little bit. Because I know what you're saying. When I first looked at it, I was like, I'm not really sure. But as I was watching it, I was like, you know what? They did a pretty good job.
Well,
Well,
what
like
did
I
what
said,
did you
it's
what
a-
did
it's a
you
little
think?
thing.
What did you think when you pulled up the mask?
Oh, dude, I almost came in my pants. Yes.
I didn't
I was
expect
like,
it.
oh, there it is. Oh,
And
man,
it looked
yeah.
pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
It did. But I laughed my ass off when he was looking for Wolverine and he found the actual 4 foot tall one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
The legitimate.
the short King Wolverine.
Yeah,
was
because
good.
he's only supposed to be that tall. And
Yeah.
all that shit back and forth about his height over the years, dude.
I thought it was cool. Like
I loved
they had got multiple celebrities for all those
I like-
Deadpool at the end.
I like the whole Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was talking about all the Deadpools at the end.
Yeah.
Because like the head, that was Nathan Fillion,
Oh,
and
that's
the
cool.
cowboy one, that was Nicolas Cage.
Was it really?
Oh no, sorry, Matthew McConaughey. My bad.
Okay. There is a difference.
No, but Nicolas
couldn't
Cage
tell.
is doing a Spider-Man noir show right now.
That's interesting.
They're filming it.
That's very interesting.
Well, good for him, because he's been taking everything he can do.
Well, he did it in the Spider-Verse, but I don't know if it's. I think it's live action. I'm
That'd
pretty
be
sure.
cool. I'd watch that.
I want to see it.
I would
So my
definitely
bad,
watch
not
that.
Nick Cage, but still Matthew McConaughey. That's still good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
I didn't pay attention.
All right.
I did not pay attention to the credits. I really didn't. I was pretty sleepy at that point.
Bro,
but-
you gotta watch the credits.
Did you watch the after credits thing?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I skipped through it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I gotta look for what's at the end because I gotta go to bed. So
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I thought I was having some mic difficulties. I am not.
He is not.
No,
I
but
think
you're-
I think he's just not being very close or not talking loud enough.
Yeah,
one
that
of the
might be
two.
it.
I don't know if it's reflecting on your end, but your camera has been lagging off and on, kind of bad.
Yours has as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
gotcha.
Yeah. But I wasn't gonna say anything because I can fix most of that in post. Most of it.
Like the cereal.
I like post brand cereal. I'm
You
more of a.
should
I'm more of
Kellogg's
a
it
I was gonna say
instead.
more of
Yeah,
a Kellogg's
yeah.
man.
I was gonna say yeah.
I'm
You should
more of a
Kellogg's
Kellogg's.
it instead.
Kellogg's man.
You should fix it in Kellogg's.
I'm gonna have some D's nuts. Just a few.
So what after?
Oh, so the ghost pepper D's nuts. They do build. They get decently spicy. They're not like unbearable. Not to knock Andy, Mrs. D. It really just tastes flavor wise like a peanut with with some kick. That's
Yeah.
But the hot cheddar, hands down.
Yeah, like I said, you should mix them together.
I might,
That way you got the flavor of those, but the spice of those.
I might try that.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 All right.
Ah, blue can.
Oh, the blue can. We are not sponsored by NOS. The blue can.
Or any of the other cans.
That's right. Thank God.
You're definitely not sponsored by Mountain Dew.
We're not. All right.
Okay, so
So?
vampire.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm the face behind the Varian character that everybody hated.
He is.
And he reminded me of something
Hello.
the last time we talked.
Varian was not in
Oh
the room.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
It was
the-
Leonardo.
Yes, it was Leonaire, yes.
Leonaire was the character in the Scorpion Chronicle de Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
So Varian's forehead does not itch.
Yet.
Sorry to inform you, you
Yeah.
failed once again.
Yet.
So far.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's
I've
killing
got-
people. He kills people as it is. Can you imagine how pissed off he's going to be if he has a dick on his forehead?
Oh man.
It doesn't matter. It wouldn't stay.
It'd grow back.
He'd find a mage or
see.
something.
He has to keep getting more blood every night because he has to cut it off every time he wakes up.
That's funny.
Now look. Okay, so everybody's tried to kill this character,
Yeah.
and okay, for those who haven't played Vampire out there that listen to this, my character has a thing where he's an Assamite, and he is addicted to vampire blood. So that's one of his issues. So I have to play that character right. And as a result, he winds up draining other vampires in play and killing them and taking their abilities, which is what makes him so strong and pisses everybody off because they die. So that's something I have to kind of uphold. And if I know somebody's out trying to get him, well, fuck them.
Well, you know, and you know what? You know
Drink 'em.
what? You can complain about how many people he kills and how unkillable he is, but it's all your fault. Because almost every time he has been in a game, you have been the GM, and you allow these things to happen.
Okay.
And you have not did like big blood hunts against the guy that's killing all the other vampires and draining them, which is explicitly forbidden.
No. Hold on. Hold on.
Don't blood hunt.
Hold on.
blood
I'm
hunt.
going to defend this. So, very first game session, or maybe the second one. It might have been the second one. It was Mr. Varian.
Defend it.
And I forget her name. I forget who your girlfriend was playing at the time, but she had a character, and just two of them went into this facility.
Radia.
Yeah, just went into a facility that had a crud ton of vampires in it that were stronger than them.
A what?
Crud ton.
Cartoon.
Fuck ton, yeah. Crud
Oh,
ton.
okay.
I wasn't trying to censor myself. I just say crud ton quite a bit.
I've never heard crud ton.
Crud ton.
Front ton, shit ton,
Yeah.
fuck ton.
Yeah.
I've heard all those,
Fun.
except for the crud.
But either way, she got pretty fucked up.
Objection!
She got pretty fucked up. He got like some minor injuries, but pretty much fucking just like ran through it. And at the time, because it was like his first or second time playing, so it wasn't a whole lot of experience happening. It was just really good fucking dice rolls on his part, and really bad fucking dice rolls on my part for NPCs. Now, after this, the whole point of this was to set free a werewolf that had been captured and was like they were experimenting on it. And
I remember that.
he ended up letting the werewolf loose, which I didn't tell him to do. It was not part of the objective.
I'm still not seeing the part where this is not your fault.
Hold on. I'm getting there.
Give them time.
I'm getting there.
I've given him lots of
So-
time. I've given him years, and he's never explained
Hold
it.
on, I'm explaining it now.
Years.
So he lets the fucking werewolf go, and I'm like, okay, well, a werewolf who was just getting experimented on by vampires is not going to look at one vampire and be like, oh, just because you saved me, I'm going to spare you. No, the fucking werewolf went after him. And he got pretty
Remember
fucked
this,
up.
yeah.
And then, like, when it was like, it looked like he was going to die, I rolled for the werewolf and got like fucking 6 or 7 botches.
That's a bad thing.
Like, it was just,
Yeah.
like, you can't fuck with that. And then,
Well, explain the botch thing real quick.
so, like, if you botch, whenever you roll, every one takes away a success. And if you have more ones than you have successes, it's called a botch.
And we probably do it to the extreme, but we do it because it's fun.
Yeah. But the way we
More
do
for
it
comedic
is
effect.
Yes.
the more ones that you have that are past your level of successes, the more
The
severe.
more negative.
Yeah, the more severe the botch is. Now, I got like 6 or 7 botches on this werewolf roll, and then his very next roll was like all fucking successes. And what can I do with like 7 fucking botches on a werewolf when he tries to fucking drain it? And I still make him roll, even though I botched. I still make him roll because it's like perseverance and shit. And he just fucking, he drained a fucking werewolf. So like,
Yeah.
I had to boost him for that.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
he started doing
right off the bat.
And then he started doing his Varian shitbag thing. Couple
Varian shitbag.
couple sessions, later, and I was like, you know what? This is getting out of hand.
Well, I have a question. At the end of these games, how much experience were you giving him?
I wasn't giving him a lot of experience.
What define what that is?
Maybe like,
We all got an even amount of experience.
Yeah, but define what
Well,
that is.
At the end of the game.
That's still
that's
shouldn't.
not that bad. And he's
It's still more than 3.
okay, but either way, here's the big problem. So once I saw this was becoming an issue, his stat looked better than a brand new player should, but it wasn't like anywhere near like what it is fucking now.
Right.
And I created a character named Stratus who was a Justicar from the Inner Circle. I didn't call a blood hunt, but I sent a Justicar after his ass. And he can attest to this. That fucking sheet was full. All the dots. And it was like one of the fucking 8 dots.
He was a badass.
And he
was
had
a
like
badass.
fucking 8 disciplines that were maxed
And he
out.
won.
He won fucking due to dice rolls.
Okay.
Dice rolls. Luck.
That's one
Now,
just a
look.
car.
Wait a minute.
How many could you have sent? You could have called a blood hunt. You could
No,
have
look,
ended this
he-
shit.
No.
You could
He
have.
also put me. Look, he also put me in a fucking pit. Okay.
Yeah.
Against the what was his name? Dominic or some
Drawson.
guy you had made. What was it?
Wait, no, it wasn't Draussian. Who was it?
It started with a D. I don't know. He was like your right hand guy in Elysium or whatever, and you put him against me. You're like, you're gonna fucking kill this guy, and that did not go over well either.
Yeah. And it's all just luck shit. And no, I can't call a big fucking blood hunt with like a shit ton of motherfuckers. Because I recently learned from you that there should really only be like 2 or 3 vampires in fucking Jeffersonville.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you call out. They come together. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah,
that's how you do that
that's
stuff.
That's a fair
I mean, that's
point.
the entire Camarilla. This is like, nation, not even nation. That's like a worldwide thing. You got a problem with some dude that's just being a shitbag like that, then yeah.
There's something
Now
about...
look, if I may, I think one thing that works in my favor when I get good rolls is I'm very descriptive about what I'm doing, and it just makes sense.
I will say this. So, he did that, and then we got a buddy named Vince. You guys met Vince. And his very
Poor
first
Vince.
time, he chose an Assamite as well. And he also got insanely fucking strong and powerful. And so I'm sitting there going, there's something about Assamites. There's something about Assamites. So I decided I was going to be an Assamite one day. So Vince is playing GM in a game. But I asked Vince, I was like, can I be clans that are not in the book? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, so I'm not asking to be like a Salubri or like a Bali or a fucking Smitty.
Those are in my book.
I know they are. I'm not asking to be anything like
I need
that.
a book.
I was like, but I'm asking to be like a branch off. He's like, you mean like a true brew hall? I was like, I don't want to be a true brew hall. That's cheating. I was like, but I would like to be an Assamite sorcerer. And he's like, explain it. And I explained it a little bit. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll allow it. Which was a big fucking mistake, dude. Because Assamites are scary. Assamite sorcerers are fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
I know.
And yeah, that was my Omen character, and he got fucking Bad News Bears.
Hey, you're a Legionnaire guy from Daboom. Wasn't he like a Tremere? Because I thought I remembered you all pulling out all the blue fire all the time.
Fire. No, I don't believe so. I think he was an Assamite also because he was like my second character I made.
Yeah, he liked Assamites.
So I was like, okay, well, that's what I know. I'm going to go with that. I didn't pull out any blue fire. So that must have been somebody else. He's the one that
Maybe
had
it was
whip.
her.
Crack that door. Just for a second. Wait a minute.
Puppy!
Sorry about that little
Come here,
interruption,
puppy.
but my dog was
Come here.
crying outside the door. I had to let him in.
Puppy.
Come here, buddy.
Oh, here's a puppy.
Oh, he's a puppy.
Yeah.
How's you doing, puppy? Hey, good puppy.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, no, a lot of good times with Vampire.
I told him about the Power Ranger thing.
What'd you think?
I think the system is very cool.
It's a great idea.
I really do.
He wouldn't have had to tell you about it if you had listened to our
Episode 2?
yeah.
Well, you know.
Just saying.
Well, I might have explained it a little bit better on Episode 2, so you should go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will. I will.
He will.
I've heard.
I don't think he will.
That's fine. You don't have to.
Good.
Hello.
We were
Hello?
talking. Rude.
Hello.
Hi, buddy. Can you hear me?
Hello.
I can hear me.
Hello.
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 He can hear us.
He can.
I wonder how long this is actually going to go on. Hello. Knowing that I can hear you the entire time.
I knew you could.
Hello.
I knew it.
Well, welcome back, buddy.
It was a thing.
Yeah.
You just assumed that I could hear you.
I did assume.
Assumed lots of things,
You made an ass out of you and me.
but not me.
That's right. So,
I'm gonna have some unsponsored D's nuts
all right, you should do that.
real quick because
He
you all said they were great.
He
They are great.
he combined the two together
Yeah.
during the break, and he enjoyed them thoroughly.
Oh yeah, dude. Like if you mix the hot cheddar with the ghost pepper, it's fantastic because you taste the hot cheddar, and you get that little
You
zing,
get that heat,
but then you get the spice of the ghost pepper and the aroma,
the kick.
the kick.
It's quite a kick in the nuts there.
They are good. I mean,
Buy
they're-
nuts.
all of them, they're good.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Buy these nuts.
All right. So, moving on.
So, trying to think
All
of
right.
something.
So, okay, I'll just jump here. You're absolutely right. I was a big part of James's place growing up.
You are.
You definitely
And
were.
just to clarify, okay, it was absolutely nothing at all. It was completely ordinary, not necessarily sexual in any way, for
For there to be boobs.
for the chicks to show up, boobies be out, friendly fondling of one another. It wasn't exclusive.
That's
It
true.
was just
Yeah.
something to do. It was just like, hey, we're friends, we're gonna touch each other, and then go on about our day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much. That's
I
how
mean,
it works.
excessive flirting, but it
And
was all
fondling.
just
Good fun.
how it was.
It was just fun.
It was good fun. Nobody ever got upset. It was expected on both sides.
I am
It
looking
was-
at the computer screen over there, and I've
Okay.
noticed that every time Anthony is talking, our thing is going up. So maybe we have his volume too loud for on our end.
We might. We might.
Anthony, talk.
Do you? I'm talking right now.
Do you see it?
Is it? That, you want me to turn mine down?
His
No, it's not that.
His is not showing up on ours. His is showing up on his own.
No. See, look, we're talking right now,
Uh-huh.
okay? Because you can see that. Now
Yeah.
watch. Anthony, talk.
Now I'm talking. What is it looking at? What is it?
Do you not
what's
see it?
showing?
It's on the bottom.
No, on the top one where we're
No.
talking.
It's not there.
It is.
It's really
Go
not.
closer. You need glasses.
You're gonna have to get closer.
Talk, Anthony.
I'm talking, but if you can hear me, it's obviously going through.
I can see it. No, I can see it on the thing. No, hold on. No, I'm talking about on the little bar with the green and the yellow.
Green and yellow, Dolphin.
Do you see it
Look at
now?
the green and yellow.
You see it?
Blah 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 blah. Blah,
Okay.
blah.
I told you.
That's fine as long as it's not on the other side.
Don't argue.
Better than now?
As long as it's not on the red bar.
But it's on the green one.
It doesn't matter.
I seen it.
Help it.
Oh my god.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
So yes,
Son
boobies
of a
everywhere.
bitch.
Boobies everywhere.
All the time.
This is why we need headphones.
We do need headphones.
And it wasn't just New Year's, because I mean, yeah.
No, it wasn't just,
was.
but I mean that was just an example because like then they'd sit around completely without a shirt for long periods of time.
But it didn't have to be New Year's either. Like, I mean, if there was just drinking or
No, but
you
there was a
know,
lot of
just
times during the-
showing up for the day.
I'm just saying there was a lot of times during just regular drinking where they'd be like, "Woo, boobs!"
Yeah.
Huh.
But at New
Well,
Year's,
my
a lot of
girlfriend
times it
one
was
of them.
just shirt completely off,
Well,
just sitting there for extended periods of
It,
time.
and, it
Like,
didn't,
ah,
and it didn't always happen just when people were drinking.
that's true.
I mean,
No,
There was
that's
sober
the point
boobs.
I was trying to make. It could be a regular day. They're just like, boobs. You're like, sweet.
It was
And then
pretty
you
sweet.
go on about whatever. Or you walk up, give it a little flop squeeze, and say, okay, and then go do whatever you were doing.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
which still shocks me that it took you that long to see Julie's boobs. Because I seen Julie's boobs like, I mean that was like
Oh
a
my God.
yeah, like I think I can still see Julie's boobs like right now
it took me that long to
Yeah.
see Julie's
Yeah.
boobs, but that speaks nothing
of all the other boobs.
about everybody else.
That's true.
I remember when. Oh, I don't know that I want to say her name, but
Well, then don't.
when the downstairs neighbor moved in,
Oh, yes.
it's almost like
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Which one? I mean, the downstairs neighbor?
the one directly under James's apartment.
The downstairs neighbor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. The one that was not fish.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Ha
I remember when she came to the door for the first time. and
Yeah,
We were like, oh, wait a minute. There's actually a hot neighbor, girl next door type now.
yeah.
And everybody was like, because I remember everybody looking at each other and thinking the same thing.
It's like who's first?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be first?
Everybody was
Yeah,
everybody was
who's gonna
thinking.
go first?
Everybody was internally saying dibs.
No, it was just
Right.
No, not really dibs, just first.
Yeah, dibs.
I mean,
But no,
Right.
I think everybody thought it, and most people did.
I did not. I almost
did not.
I
Well,
almost
I'm-
did. I almost did.
Okay, so there was a time when me and my girlfriend actually tried like together, and it almost went down, but she was like, "Y'all are probably gonna regret that." So she's like, "I'm not saying I don't want to, but you just probably shouldn't." And we were like, "Yeah, okay, fuck it." But yeah,
It happens.
we definitely tried to.
I almost did.
You almost said.
I flirted and then I had an invitation to come back later. And then for some reason I
Oh
didn't.
man,
You should have gone back.
I should
you
have.
did
You
not.
should have gone back.
I didn't.
Damn it, James.
I know. Can you believe that? I didn't.
I can believe it.
I was kind of bouncing around
I mean,
a lot.
Yeah.
I did for a while.
I can believe it. It just depends on the time frame.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I did.
Yeah.
There was at least a time frame where I was bouncing around a lot.
Yeah.
Those were good
That's
days.
true.
They were fun.
Yeah.
I remember. I will not speak names.
Oh shit.
I remember when we were working at the club.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was a girl that had put her eyes on me and kept coming over and talking to me almost every night while
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she came over and she was all talking to me, and then she started like rubbing my crotch, and I was like, hey, I'm like working here. She's like, so there's a lot of people. It's okay. And then she like
Okay.
Yeah.
she like reached up, she like took it out under the table out in the courtyard, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, we did that, and then I ended up going home with her that night. And like I rode back to her house with her, and then I remember I walked into her house, and the first thing I saw was just like a shitload of those porcelain dolls everywhere
fuck.
around the living room. They were just
Uh-oh,
everywhere,
Freakville.
and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
She wanted to make you into a doll.
Maybe I
Or at
didn't
least your
know,
penis.
but I was like, oh, I don't like this.
No.
Because it was like dark. There were like
He was
no
gonna-
lights in the living room. All I could see was like the reflection of all these like, porcelain faces everywhere.
Were they staring at you?
Yes.
Oh.
And then
She was going to cut off your junk and put it inside a doll.
well, I don't know. Well, hold on. Then, we went back to her bedroom, and we started doing our thing, and I noticed there were more shelves of the dolls in the bedroom. Like instead of the little curio cabinets, there were like just shelves up on the walls, and they were all like staring at me toward the bed. And I was like,
and at this point, you were afraid they were going to come to life.
yeah.
murder you,
And
right?
so I
Yeah.
didn't. I mean, everything still worked, but I didn't perform at my fullest at that point because
Really?
it was confusing.
I feel
It's
like
I only like you enough for sacrifice.
I feel like you should have done better than normal.
'Cause I had an audience?
Because you had an audience, yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I was really tired also, because you got to imagine that was like 5:30 in the morning or so after working all night. But either way, I woke up the next morning, and when I woke up, I was naked,
Yeah.
and she was naked,
Yeah.
but she was sitting on the edge of the bed, holding out like this tray, and it had like barbecued chicken, and like macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes. She like made me like a full meal. And she was just sitting there naked holding me food out. And I was like, I don't know what this is. This is very confusing.
Did you eat it?
And then I ate the food, and then I proceeded to have very good sex. And then she took me home, and it was good.
Okay.
All
well,
right.
It was good times.
So it just being slightly creepy is the only issue.
you never
here.
told me that.
Really?
Yeah. No, I
I went back a second time
I
later.
I knew that you guys had done the deed
He said, "Fuck the dolls."
because you told me you guys had done the deed. You're like, yeah, I went back to her place and we did, we did everything. I didn't know the details.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't never tell you any of
Fuck
that.
yeah, dude. That's. A
Well,
good
I was going to
story.
say when I went back the second time, the dolls didn't bother me as much then. But she didn't. She didn't give me food
I'm
that
sure
time.
they didn't.
She didn't. She didn't make me food that time.
What a bitch. I'm joking.
Damn it.
I'm joking.
The dolls told her not to.
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh man.
Like, don't feed him again.
So, he kept us awake.
Oh shit.
That was
Good times,
funny.
Man, good times. Oh man, no, I talked a little bit last time about me, Vince, and DN, and somebody else going to the strip clubs all the fucking time. And this is so for me, my biggest thing was I was a virgin up until I was 17.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it happened.
You should tell that story.
Oh, I hate this
I
story.
thought you were 18.
No, I was 17.
Yeah, you should tell that story. That's
Fine.
that's an interesting story.
All right, I'll tell the story. Okay, so
I'll tell mine after that. Mine's funny.
So naturally, I told all my friends when I was a virgin. I told all my friends that I was not, in fact, a virgin. I had different stories of my first time and how that played
Your
out.
sexcapades.
My sescapades. It didn't actually happen. I think that's
Sexcapade.
I think that's most virgins. They just want to fit in. But how it actually happened was I was 17. I was at my dad's apartment because my brother and my dad were living together. my brother had his buddy Bill over, and
Do I want to hear the story? Is this the same story?
it's just
Oh, okay.
okay.
Well,
so-
He said, "Wait a minute, there's dudes."
hold on. So we're sitting there, we're watching a movie, and it was so funny because it was completely out of nowhere. Nothing prompted it, but Bill was like, "Dolph, you ever been laid?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Again, do I want to hear the story?
You do.
Okay.
And I was like, "Yeah, dude, of
Yeah.
course." I was like, "Yeah, for sure." He goes, "I don't think you have." I was like, "Well, but I have, and I've had sex with 3 girls." And blah blah. He goes, "Dude, do you want to have sex with a girl, like, for real?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Then be honest with me." I was like, "Yeah, I've never done it." And he goes, "All right." He's like, "I got a girl for you." I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude." He's like, "I'll call her." So he called her, and then he went and got her, picked her up, brought her over, and I'm super super shy, and we sat and we were watching a movie, and then my dad comes home from work, and granted, I'm not living with my dad, I'm living with my mom, but my dad comes home from work, and it's winter time, there's snow out on the ground, and he's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, hey Dad, I need to talk to you." So I went in my dad's bedroom with him, and I was like, "Hey, so this girl out here, we got a thing going on. I really like her. She thinks I'm 18 because I did. I told her I was 18 because she was like 22, 23, and he was like, "Okay." I'm like, "So don't say anything." He's like, "Okay." I'm like, "And we're gonna go back to her place, and it's finally gonna happen." He's like, "Oh well, cool, good for you. Look
Congratulations.
He's like, "Look at you."
Now
like,
you're a man.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Man,
I was like,
man.
"Hell yeah, dude! My dad's on cool. My dad's on board. He's so cool." And Dad was like, "Well, how you getting back to her place?" I was like, "We're gonna walk." He's like, "Where does she live?" And I was like, "Well, she's staying at the Holiday Motel." He goes, "Well, let me give you guys a ride." And I'm like, "Okay." So he gives us a ride, and we get there, and she gets out, and I proceed to get out. And my dad goes, "Well, what you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going in." He's like, "No, I don't think you should." And I'm like, "Dad," and he's like, "You're not getting out. I'm taking you back home." And she's just looking at me, looking at him, and I'm like, "Dad, I'm 18." He goes, "I don't give a fuck how old you are. Get in the car." And of course, it's my dad, so I'm like, "Oh fuck, well this ain't going nowhere." So I get in the car, he takes me back, and then the very next day, I called her and I'm like, "Hey, what you doing?" She's like, "Oh, just chilling." I'm like, "Can I come over?" She's like, "Do you want to?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "All right." So I went to your stepdad. No. I went to JF. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Rhymes with house.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
So he gives me a ride and he drops me off and we go in and we're talking and she's like, "So you want to fuck?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And she's like, "All right." And me being a virgin,
Yeah, dude.
me being
Yeah.
a virgin, but not wanting this girl to know I was a virgin, I'm like, "It's been a couple of months, so you might have to walk me through a few
Couple of
things."
months.
I'm
Might
like,
walk me through a few things.
yeah, dude. Like, so I'm pretty sure she knew, and so we start, making out and stuff, and clothes start coming off, and I'm like, "Okay, well, you know what? We're laying down, we're kissing." I'm like, well, I'm here. I got to try everything because I had never done anything other than kiss. I had never done anything with a girl, so I'm like,
Sure.
touching on some boobies, and I'm like, "All right, we're gonna head south and we're gonna give this a try." Now,
Ooh.
fucking. So,
That has the potential to be great and miserable
dude,
and frightening at the same
So-
time.
so I head south. And I'm down there doing this for about a minute and a half. And I remember thinking to myself, this is the nastiest shit I've ever tasted. It's the most horrible thing I've ever smelled in my life.
Holy crap.
But
No.
it's supposed
Wait,
to have.
I remember this story.
I was like, it's supposed to have a smell. That's what everyone says. There's a smell, and it's not, necessarily appealing. This is normal. This is fine. But I'm like, but I probably won't be doing this anymore. And so, we get done. I get done doing that, And then she's like, "You wanna fuck?" And I'm like, "Well, do you wanna do the same thing that I just did?" And she's like, "Oh, you want me to suck your dick?" And I'm like, "That'd be cool."
That'd be cool.
So she did, and I was like, "Yeah, this is cool." And then we had sex. Now, I will say this on a regular basis, I'm about a 15 to 25 minute dude. Generally, there are times where it's like 5-10 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not one of those dudes that like brag about I could go for hours. But my first time lasted about 2 hours. And I don't know if it's just because it was so bad. I don't know. But it did. It lasted a while. And I remember we got done, and that's when I called your stepdad. He came and got me. I came to your house, and I told you about what happened. I don't know if you remember this. We were standing in the kitchen, and I was still smelling and tasting it. Like, it just, for a week, it did not go away. I brushed, I rinsed, I fucking mouthwashed. It just stayed. And James was like, "Yeah, there's probably something wrong with her, dude. That ain't normal." And
Well, it's not normal.
and I will tell you this.
I mean,
No,
maybe
it's not.
maybe having the remnants for an hour or two, maybe sometimes.
This is the long-term effect, because there was a long-term effect that I acquired from this girl.
Uh-oh.
Anytime I go down on a
Did
girl,
your tongue shrink?
no, anytime I go down on a girl, I swear to God, it's PTSD. The smell and the taste comes back. Like, I can clearly smell and taste like what's actually going on, but I can also, that's back. So I made it a rule to where I only go down on a girl if I love them, like, period, because I'm not going through the shit and like
Right.
the flashbacks if I don't have to. But no,
Sure,
dude, so
sure.
that was my first time.
Oh, that's entertaining.
Yeah.
You poor bastard.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
If it
go ahead.
if it smells like that, first of all, you don't go.
I didn't know that.
I would,
Oh,
I would say don't do anything. Don't
Yeah, no.
just don't get. Yeah.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't get any like STIs or Ds, so that's good. But I will say the other part of the story is like when we got done, I don't know. I just I was like, "So are you like my girlfriend now?" And she's like, "Well, I work at Myers. I live in a motel. I lost custody of my child, and I have another one on the way. Do you want to be my boyfriend?" And I was like, "No."
That's
No.
funny.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a time. I'm not gonna say it was a good time or a bad time, but it was a time.
Let me see. Mine.
Mm-hmm.
I had went down to Daytona with. I went down to Daytona
Know the
with my
story.
girlfriend
I know this.
that I had at the time and her family because they had a timeshare down on the beach, and we were talking about it
Mm-hmm.
that we were going to, and I don't know. I was trying to make it all nice beforehand. And she was saying she wanted a bath and stuff, so I had went and got one of those little neck pillows for the bath and like some little floaty candles and all types of stuff from the store, and I was trying to make it all nice for her.
Of course.
And she was in there and she was taking her bath and I was like helping and stuff, and
Sure.
it's like all good. And then we got ready to get done. We heard something. I didn't know what it was, so I put a towel on me and I walked out of the bathroom and her mom was sitting on the bed, and I was like, "Ooh!" And she was like, "Hey, is she in there?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Tell her to come out." And I was like, "Okay." And I walked back in there and I talked to her, and she refused to come out. She was like, "Well, she's gonna yell at me, blah, blah, blah," and all this other stuff. And so I went back out and went, "Look, she doesn't want to come out. She's afraid. She's scared. Blah blah blah." And I'm still sitting there in a towel, but her mom.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You were in a towel.
Yes, I was in a towel, and then
Classic.
her mom was just like, "Well, tell her to get dressed, and then you all come over to our room. We need to all have a talk."
Oh God.
And I was like, "Fuck." And
Crash, burn, ruin, smolder.
yeah, so then we got dressed, and we walked over there to parents' room and we were talking to them. And for some reason, her cousin, her older cousin, was in the room.
It's a whole
His
family game.
Was her name Sarah by any chance?
It was not. It was not.
Okay.
We had this talk yesterday.
I know who you're talking about.
We had this talk yesterday about just like you start telling stories and how many of them end up being Sarah's for some reason.
Yeah, that's funny.
But
Hold on a
There's
second.
been a lot of them.
but anyway, what?
That's decently accurate.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
It
I know a
is.
lot of Sarah stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either
I've
way,
heard a lot of Sarah stories.
either way, so we went in there and talked to her parents, and they were like, "Now look, we know you're all gonna do stuff, but people gotta be safe and whatnot." And her cousin, I ain't gonna say last name or nothing, so it don't matter. But they were like, "Hey, Carl," and he was like, "What?" And her stepdad there was like, "You got a condom?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Give it to him." Hey, Carl gave me a condom. They were like, "Be safe."
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, "Be safe, and as soon as we get home, we're getting you on the shot." And I was like, "Oh," they said, "Go on, you can go back now." And I was like,
So your very next question was, can I have two? Right?
"No," I was still in shock. I was just like,
You got a blessing.
Yeah, kinda. I got the blessing. It's like, "You may go bone my daughter now." And I was like,
That is crazy.
it was
That is
effectively
so
like
crazy.
that. And I was
Yeah.
like, "That's weird."
That is funny.
So we went back there, and before we started, doing our stuff, I was watching TV because we didn't immediately jump at it. We had to have some conversation and process everything that just happened right then.
Right.
And what was on was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
It was on the TV,
DBZ.
and so I was watching it. And then we decided, yeah, it was time. So we started doing our stuff, and I was on top, and we were going about our business, and I looked up, and there was a big mirror on the wall, and in that mirror I could see the TV on the other side of the room, and it was like my favorite episode of Z at the time, which was like Gohan first turning Super Saiyan and killing all the
yeah.
Cell Juniors
Yep.
all brutally.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I love this one. And I just was watching it while I was going.
Now see.
And then she was like, "Are you watching TV?" And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's like my favorite episode." And she was like, "I don't mind." And I was like, "Really?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's okay." So I kept watching Dragon Ball while I had my first, while I lost my virginity.
What I can't understand about that story is a couple of things. So number one, I can't believe that your brain allowed you to do anything else on your first time. Because my first time I was just so focused on this is happening. Ah, yay.
Well, it helped with the lasting power.
But when it comes
If it says anything, because I'm
What-
watching instead of completely
but
focusing.
when it comes to Dragon Ball Z, I can understand. I can understand how your brain would shift. But not on an episode you've already seen. If it was a new episode, I get it. I understand.
Right.
But,
If you hadn't seen it, that might have been one thing.
Yeah.
But how would you not entirely focus on it? But I do know you, and
Yeah,
make
that's
Dragon
true.
Ball
I
is gonna
am
be
does make
I am
sense
I am a
in most
multitasking
situations.
motherfucker.
Clearly. That's fantastic. I like this
Oh.
story. What about your first time, buddy? I don't think I've ever heard about your first time.
Was there anything
I
to
don't
note,
really-
or was it just all
Okay, so
romantic awesomeness?
Okay,
curious.
so I guess it would have to be two different stories, because the first time I actually did anything, it was not traditional. It was actually anal sex. Was the first thing I ever.
I did know
was
that,
introduced
actually.
to.
So you ran
Yeah.
before you walked.
And I sprinted, and it wasn't even my choice actually. So what happened was,
I know this.
I've never heard that.
I do. I know this.
but we will not name names.
No,
no
naturally.
names.
So my girlfriend and I could only ever really do anything heavy at my house. We couldn't do it at her house because we'd have to be outside. Not that we didn't do things, because fuck it, we were teenagers. But so she would come over, and it was always in my bed. Well, I had to share my room with my older brother, Danny. Y'all know Danny.
Sure.
That's a cookie man.
Hey, Mr. Cookies.
Dan. Yes, a Mr. Danny. Anyway, so my bed was like 3 feet away from a chair that sat in front of our TV with all our video games, right? So he's sitting there and he's playing PlayStation 2. I think it was like Final Fantasy X or something. And she and I were in my bed, which if he would have just looked to the left, he'd look right at us. You know, it wasn't hard to do. But he was so focused, and he would punch the shit out of his leg when he'd get mad, so we're like, okay, whatever. We're under the blankets, and I'm behind her, and she just, like, pushes back. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. And she kept going. And I was like, wait a minute. I know where I'm at right now. Is this really how it's... And then there it was, and I'm like, okay. And I mean, that actually went on the entire time he played the game, and it was probably like a solid hour. And I was like, okay, so, and then that actually continued to go on for some time. And then when we finally decided to have traditional sex, it was on Valentine's Day. And it was just the two of us, and nobody else was around. It was still in my bed, so we had to, like, close the door almost shut, you know?
Yeah.
And back then, you had a stereo playing because, you know, they
Right.
made those, and that's just what you had.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had CDs and all that, and we would always listen to Stained Break the Cycle. That was like our album to get down to.
Damn.
And it was sweet, and we did use a condom, and it's the condom part sucked. Condoms have always sucked for me. But it was kind of pretty. We didn't really know that much about that part at the time. And it probably lasted about 20 minutes or so, you know, that first time.
Yeah, yeah.
By then, we had a lot of experience in everything else. That was just like the last thing that we wound up doing. So we had
Fair enough.
marathoned everything else you could possibly do
You know-
before we actually did the real thing.
You know, the funny thing about that is he's telling this story about Danny sitting in the chair, and I was going, I remember sitting in that chair when I was when I was beating the original Resident Evil. I remember because I kept getting stuck on it, and Anthony was giving me tips, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Hey, don't look over here." And then I had to sit there and like keep playing the game while I'm hearing weird noises coming from the side and going, "Oh God, oh God."
But you stayed.
I was playing a game.
He can multitask, remember?
Well, so here's what I'm thinking now. Because you asked last episode, we were talking about some of the stuff, and you were like, I wonder how normal this is for other people.
Right.
Now I'm thinking it's not that normal because I just
Because you've never sat in the chair?
No. Contrary. I never sat in that chair. But I have been in the room with a lot of my friends having sex. Yes. And a lot of my friends have been in the room while I was having sex.
Yeah, I was going to say, I distinctly remember being undercover on the love seat in the living room while a bunch of people were in the room watching like a TV or a movie or something.
Yeah.
While I was having sex with my girlfriend, and you turning around and like looking at me and me just going, man, you turned your head back around.
I remember many times.
But I mean, there was a bunch of people in that room watching TV, and I was just like, yeah, fuck it.
I remember many times where you and your girlfriend at the time were in your room in the apartment getting down. And like I would come over and I'd want to hang out, and I'd be like, "Where's James?" And I'm like, "Well, they're busy." And I'm like, "Son of a bitch." and I got tired of it. So eventually, I just got to the point where I'm like,
He just started walking in
Yeah.
and shit.
I was like, they'll just, they'll either stop or they won't. And then you guys got to the point where you're like, fuck it, we're not going to stop. And then,
Well, yeah.
and then I remember, do you remember the shaving cream? Don't tell me you forgot this.
I don't think so.
You don't remember me coming in
It is
like
a
while you
long
and
pause.
her were doing it, and I had shaving cream, and I just like started like slinging it on you guys.
That. No, I
You
don't,
don't
remember.
remember
I don't
that.
remember that.
How do you not remember that?
I was preoccupied.
It turned into like a thing. Like, it was funny. It was a good time.
Well, I was preoccupied.
Yeah.
I mean, I can multitask, but
You are multitask.
I've had a lot of people watch me have sex. It does not bother me at all.
a good amount of
whatsoever.
people watch me have sex. I've watched a bunch of people have sex.
So I stayed the night.
There's-
Go ahead.
I just said, there was even this girl that was part of our group. We won't name names. But she would watch me have sex all the time. It was
I know
like
who we're
it's
talking
just
about.
Like a thing.
I got a feeling.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and it was. I mean,
Memories.
gosh. Anytime she was around, she would watch at least 3 times in the duration before she ever left. It's just something that it was the normal thing. Just be like, we're gonna, and she's like, okay, and she just go and sit down,
I remember.
sit there, chill, and smoke, and yeah, it was just a thing.
That is funny. I remember
Yeah.
me and I've already said her name once, but I did leave it out. So me and my girlfriend at the time, I remember staying the night at your house. You didn't live there at the time. It had become Hamill's bedroom,
Oh.
and
Murr.
it was pitch black.
Mer.
I remember it was pitch black in the room. We had all the lights off and the curtains and all that, and we had the music playing, and we thought Hamill was asleep. So we're like, yeah, it's yeah.
Meh.
So we started doing
Meh.
we
Oh,
started.
you were
doing our
sleeping with the
thing.
fishes?
No. But
See?
we started doing our thing, and we did our thing for a good long while, man. And like the CD was just playing and playing and playing, and we got done. I couldn't find my cigarettes, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta turn the light on. I can't find my cigarettes." Turn the light on, and Hamill is like in the corner, sitting, and just going. I'm like,
Hold
"Dude."
on, turn this way and make that.
He was
face,
going.
will you?
And I was like, "How long have you been awake?" And he's like,
A long time.
and he specifically said, "Lincoln Park in the end." I'm like, "Dude, that was a minute ago." And he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Why didn't you say anything?" He's like, "I didn't want to interrupt you guys." I'm just like,
he wasn't there yet.
"Oh, that's funny." I mean, his shit wasn't out, but maybe he put it away. I don't know. That's funny.
Speaking of, we're talking about people watching people. Do you remember at the square, at the apartment complex, you remember standing outside of the main door of where I live, and then looking up at the apartment right across from yours where Army Dude lived, and he had the Jennifer chick that was always there.
Oh.
And he had her just like bent over the couch with the curtains and everything completely open. He was just like toward the window.
That's hilarious. No, I don't remember that. Was I there?
I think so.
I don't doubt it.
It's like they were both just completely naked, just banging with her face in the window.
Because she
And then they
She
like,
banged
and
everybody in
then
the
they
square.
like turned around and he like picked her up and put her on the wall and was going at it, and it was just like, it's right, the window's right there.
That's so funny. That is fantastic. I don't remember that, but
It was like everybody that was out there could have seen that.
I mean, I don't think she cared because probably everyone in the square had seen that.
She tried like twice with me,
She
and
tried once with me.
She tried twice. I did not.
Who was
No.
this?
Her name was Jennifer. Last name started with an M. She used to hang out with the person I talked about earlier, whose last name rhymes with House. Hung out with his sisters a lot. In the square.
I don't know. I probably do know who you're talking about.
I'm guarantee you would have.
I'm gonna cut it out. Jennifer.
Oh,
I know the name.
I wouldn't say that she used to hang out with him.
Yeah, she used to hang out with.
Like,
Oh.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Jennifer chick?
okay.
She had the dog Blaze, the big
Yeah.
black lab.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
edits.
Edits.
Edit.
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 Edit. Edit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember seeing a video of someone going down on her with like 8 people standing around watching.
I'm not surprised, dude.
Wait, you saw video of it?
I don't know what happened after that,
Well,
but I remember seeing that.
not swimming because you don't go.
I believe it was.
Swimming
I
after
believe
you
it
eat.
was actually on one of your cameras.
It probably was. Was it that showed you the video?
I'm not willing to state that.
Fair enough. That's funny.
I mean,
It wouldn't surprise me.
Dude, he borrowed my camera a lot, and like,
He's an entrepreneur, man.
Here's the fucked up thing. Like, he never took the tape out.
yeah.
He never did. So like, I'd get my camera back, and I'd be like, oh, there's tape in here, on blah blah blah.
Don't watch that.
Well, I was like, I want to make sure it's not one of our wrestling tapes. I don't want to tape over it. So I'd play it, and I'm like, this ain't wrestling.
Well, I mean,
This ain't wrestling at all.
I mean, kinda.
Well, I mean, there was a few power slams, here and there.
Power slams.
But no.
Apparently there was 8.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, this ain't what ain't what I was looking for. But no, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
I remember 2 individuals coming over to the house before, and I was sitting in the bedroom playing my guitar. And they came in there and went, "Hey, can we borrow your guitar?" And I was like, "No, I'm playing it. You can't borrow my guitar. Why you want to borrow my guitar?" And they were like, "Oh, well, there's a hot chick coming over, and we're going to drink a bunch of beer, and we're going to bone her. And we want to borrow your guitar."
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, no, you can't borrow my guitar. And they were like, "Well, do you want to come too?"
I know who you're talking about.
And I was like, "Yeah, well, why not?" I wasn't doing anything. I was just playing guitar. And it's like, well, I can rather play guitar.
Anyway.
I was like, yeah, I was going to play guitar anyway, but if we're going to throw in like beer and vagina, I mean, I'll take that.
Right?
It was a good night.
You know what's funny about that particular person? Because you're talking about M, right?
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
yeah.
So, I had a girlfriend at that time. It was the girlfriend I was just talking about. And then years later, like, 'cause none ever happened with me and her. I didn't even hardly ever talk to her. But years and years later, and I had a different girlfriend. She randomly sent me a friend request on Facebook one day, and she was like, hey, I've been watching your YouTube and blah blah blah, and all this. And she was commenting on all my YouTube videos, and she was like, we need to catch up sometime. I'm like, that'd be cool. Me and you really never got to know each other. I was like, what do you want to do? And she's like, I don't know. We can hang out, drink a little bit, play guitar, and fuck, and I'm like, whoa.
That sounds familiar.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
Right.
I was like, I have a girlfriend at the moment. She's like, well, I mean, it's fine. I was like,
I think she had a boyfriend and the other thing
yeah,
too.
she did.
I mean,
I was like, it's not fun. And so we never did anything. And that was that was when I found out like that she apparently had always wanted to, but I mean like not that it was a special thing because
the funny thing is, years after all that, she had got a hold of me randomly out of nowhere.
that's funny.
And she was like, "Hey, I think we should hang out sometime. I always had a crush on you." And did pretty much that same type of thing.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, "Yeah, let's go for
I
it."
hate it when you all do this because I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about.
All right, so again, we'll
Edits.
We'll edit, but
Oh.
yeah. I believe believe that her boyfriend at the time was one of your buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I knew that.
I didn't.
I knew that.
I'd never met the guy or anything.
Yeah, they actually lived next door
To me.
Dolph's dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way.
And she ran through my family too.
I mean, yeah.
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 Well, either way, she sent me all those messages, and I was like, okay, let's go for it. And then she just quit answering me for some reason.
That's sad. I'm sorry, buddy.
It was all good.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
Great oldies.
Great oldies? Good times and great oldies?
Man.
What?
I don't know, just old times. Lots of old times.
Makes you feel old?
Well, it's just it realize no matter how happy I am now and how good everything's going and stuff, it's not nearly as exciting as it used to be.
Okay, I have actually gotten to the point in my life where
I don't want that excitement
I
anymore.
like that. I tell people all the time, like I love that I have a very boring life. It is not boring in a sense of I'm bored. It's boring in a sense that it bores everybody else. There's no drama. There's no.
I don't miss the drama.
There's no bullshit.
I don't.
I know what's going to
well,
happen for the most part day to day.
Because there was a lot of drama back with all that. We talk about how good everything was.
Oh,
there
no.
was a lot of drama.
Yeah, there was constant. You know, you slept with this person.
You stole this.
You took this. How dare you? There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, what you thinking about over there, Anthony?
I was thinking about the drama I didn't have when I wasn't around there.
Yeah.
But you always went back.
Yeah, but we always
did.
everybody always went back.
Yeah.
I always went back.
All right.
That's
That's
because
'cause
the
it was my
fun
buddies, man.
outweighed the drama.
Since it's us three
It
talking.
did.
Yeah. Since it's us three talking, do you guys remember us three in your room playing with Exo Squads?
No, I
Yes!
don't. No, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, me and Anthony were talking about it yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Exo
I
Squad
got
was the
you.
shit.
And there's like, no, you didn't.
Oh, dude.
I
We're
got
like,
the force field going. You can't get me.
we're
You
fucking,
don't got a force field. I got anti-force field missiles.
we're fucking grown ass men playing with little toys.
Yeah, we were in our 20s about.
Yeah.
Busting out the Exo Squad.
It was just it's just Anthony's like, look at this. There's a big box full of toys.
Fuck yeah, dude. It was great.
Loved it.
Oh my god.
It was.
Did you send that
I'll
to
tell
him
him.
the other day too?
What? Send what?
What?
That video.
Oh, with the little Transformers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm Optimus
with the
Prime.
sock'em. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah,
It
took
was
me
great.
Right back. Yeah. It was a good
I
time.
got those from a yard sale for free.
There you
I
go.
was
You
like-
can't beat that.
I just brought them home and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm Optimus Prime, bitch. I'm like, hold on. So I had to throw on the video.
Look at my legs.
I don't know about. I don't know about the legs. They just twisted. I was
Watch
like,
me move my legs. Oh man,
That's great.
it was funny.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah, I love
it was
it.
a good time.
Might have to come up with some more adventures for them.
More.
I don't remember how much
Yeah,
time.
adventure time.
Remember how much time we spent back in the bedroom playing Outlaw Golf 2 with all that music on the Xbox playing in the background?
Oh yeah, that was a great game.
Never really got into the golf games.
Yeah, but we had all the
That-
music
that
that was
particular-
stored on the Xbox.
That's
It was
cool.
custom soundtrack, so we're like playing golf
Yeah.
and listening to Korn and all kinds of
Oh,
other
that's
stuff.
cool.
Plus that golf game.
But the game, that particular
I love that game.
golf game was cool though.
Yeah, because
It really
on
was.
that
And then-
you had composure. So if you did a good shot, your composure would go up. And if your composure was bad, you'd hit bad. If you wanted to get your composure up, you could beat up your caddy, and that would take up your composure. And they would have things like if you want a perfect shot, you could attempt like a race in your golf cart and try to go
shit.
through all the
That's
gates and
cool.
stuff, and then it would give you a perfect shot. And
Okay.
It was very cool.
Lots
It really
of
was. It's the
cussing
only
and
golf
stuff,
game I stuck with.
narrated by Dave Attell.
Okay, yeah, I would fuck with that. I would fuck with that.
It was a lot of fun.
That
Outlaw,
sounds like a lot of
Outlaw
fun.
Golf 2.
Outlaw Golf 2. Okay. And it's on Xbox?
Yeah.
Original Xbox?
Yeah.
Well,
I,
I'm gonna
you
have
know,
to
it
get
might have been multi-platform.
Yeah, but with the Xbox, you could have all the custom soundtrack and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that's the appealing part. Well, that's one of the appealing parts.
It helped.
Beating up
It's
your
one
caddy
of, one of the bonuses for the Xbox.
beating up
for
your
sure.
caddy sounds like a good time.
It was more. It was
It
mini
is.
game type
Yeah.
stuff, but you beat the shit
Yeah.
out of them.
That's so
Set them
cool.
on fire, beat them with golf clubs, whatever. Run over
No
them with a
shit.
golf cart, whatever.
That's so good. That is so good. Oh,
I
man.
remember. Oh, do you guys remember? What was it? When I got the Xbox 360 and brought it over, and it had that music on it that somebody else had got, because I bought it from the pawn shop, and that's where we got introduced to Dark New Day. Remember that? That
No.
Brother song.
I don't remember that either.
You don't remember, dude? Because I loaded that game up. Do you remember Ninja Blade?
Yeah.
All that heavy ass music we would play that game along to. It was
Okay.
just like on regular Xbox. I had put all that shit on there,
Oh, wow.
and that was the coolest game because it was a 100% action game, and you would just fuck shit up, and it had cinematics and everything, but the music would never stop playing, no matter what. It was constant, just rolling through the tracks. And it
That's
was
cool.
one of the coolest games, dude, for that factor.
The main thing
Just
I
having
remember.
custom music.
The main thing I remember about you having the 360 there was playing a lot of Resident Evil 5.
Oh yeah, we fucked that game up. We really did.
Hey, I don't know if you ever knew this, but I converted Mr. Dolphy here into a Mega Man guy.
Oh, yeah. I love Mega Man. I
Congratulations.
fucking love Mega Man. That was a long time ago,
You
though.
should.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I
but he
fucking-
was doing the same thing. He was just like, "Why y'all playing this?
Yeah.
This is just like it looks crappy and it blah blah." And then it's
But,
like,
but to be fair though, after like X4, it kind of
yeah.
dropped
Yeah.
off.
But it was that, and then we handed him a controller. It's like, "You play," and he was like, "I don't wanna." And then he started playing, and all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, we're jump, shoot, jump, ah!" And then he was happy.
It was a good game.
Yeah, just jump shoot, man. Jump shoot, jump shoot. Simplest fucking
and it's
thing.
difficult.
Hardest fucking
It is
game.
difficult. It is
difficult.
difficult, but it is fair.
That's why
Most
it's
of the
fun.
time. Most of the time, it is absolutely fair, and if you die, it's your fault.
You know, video games used to not hold your fucking hand, dude. They do nowadays.
Never.
Most of them do.
Yeah. There's fucking tutorials
And like with
and
the
little
Mega
fucking
Man,
markers
at
and
least
shit.
At least with the Mega Man, they started giving you the passwords where you could like eventually continue. Because
At
you start
least.
out with like 2 guys, and that was it. And if you
Technically
didn't get very
3.
far, you
Yeah.
just did. I mean, technically 3, but it would say 2 on the screen.
Yeah.
It would actually let you run with 0 being your last guy.
Yeah.
So, but those passwords, I remember writing all that shit down in crayon. Boy, I'd be like, I gotta make sure I can.
I remember. Yeah, me and
You know.
Anthony went on some Mega Man binges there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Mega
Yeah,
Man,
it was good
Mega
times.
Man.
Well, if he was having a problem with something, I'd get it and I'd do it, and then if I was having a problem, he could get it, and it worked
Bingo
out well.
bango.
Mega Man was fun.
It is fun. It's a great game.
Mega Man's hard.
And
Yeah.
dude, when X came out on Super Nintendo, oh my god, that was like the greatest game. It really was. Because all of a sudden you could get extra power.
I
Get that
love
suit,
X3, but X3 is fucking hard.
It's very hard.
I mean, 4 is still
X2
probably
is
my
Very
favorite.
hard too.
X4 is still probably my favorite.
I've not
But-
played any of the X's.
That is a fun game and it flows really well.
It flows well, and the difficulty's not insane, but it is hard. It just
And it's the first one where you got to actually use 0 all the way through
yes.
on his own. And they did
Not played
really
that.
well with his attacks. They were so cool.
Not played any of the ones on Super.
X4 was actually on PlayStation and Saturn.
Okay, I've never played that one either.
Yes. That is a fantastic game. It really is.
Plus, you get the you get the anime cutscenes and stuff. But
They were
no,
okay.
I like those. They're pretty good. They were done by the same people who do Dragon Ball and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's all anime. It's not like
I mean, it definitely looked good, but
it's not like
100% anime.
not like the fucking cutscenes in 8 with the most horrible voice acting in the world. Like
I hated 8.
Doctor, I like the game, but
7 and
Doctor
8,
Light,
dude,
he's
just-
like talking about Doctor Wily, but he can't say it right. He was like Doctor Wily. Wah, 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 and you can't understand half the shit he's saying, and he even stumbles a couple times while he's talking. It's like,
Why did they leave that in?
I don't know, but it's great. It's fun to go back and
I
watch
guess
it
it's
just
more
for that.
effect for
That's
them.
funny. That is good. Well, buddy.
Mega Man, you have to go stop Doctor Wily. Doctor Wily.
That's good stuff.
And it was like one of those, you know how like in old anime they rush everything they gotta say. It's like, yeah, even Mega Man's like, Base, why don't you stop? Dr. Wily's bad. Blah, 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 blah. And they gotta end with a at the end of it. It's kind of like old Speed Racer shit.
That's funny,
It's true.
man.
Well, Japanese though, they would speak so fast. How are you going to convert that to English?
That's what I mean.
While
Yeah,
their
it's a
mouths
mouth
are
like
still
that's-
moving the, at
That's
the
true.
right time. You know.
That's wonderful. It's good stuff, man.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
I don't know. It did it again. Like I started to have something and it went away.
Well,
It happens.
you need to start taking nootropics, man.
Shake your brain.
You do. I have some downstairs if you would like one.
You need to take a suppository.
What? Why?
I don't know. Because I want to put my foot.
Oh, I
in your
know where
ass.
that's going. Your butt.
Kick.
Fair. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Man.
That's right. Talk about my brain. My brain's fine.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying like me, I have a hard time, like my brain here lately has been operating faster than my mouth can keep up with, and it causes a lot of like stumbles and like stutters and things like that. So I started taking nootropics, and it really does help. It's not nearly as bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think D's nuts would
You're
help?
not sponsored by them.
No, I'm not sponsored by them or D's Nuts.
I will attempt. I will see if D's nuts will help.
You can try. You can give it a shot.
I think they do.
All right. Oh, yeah. Did you remember what you were going to say?
No.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I love having D's nuts in my mouth.
Absolutely.
They are good.
They,
I can't help it.
They're
They're damn
fantastic.
good.
They're great.
Unsponsored.
Not a sponsor. Yep.
Well,
Oh, Anthony.
Ah.
When we, I don't know if you heard. No, you didn't. You must not have heard, probably,
Bird?
because you have not listened to anything other than episode 3.
that's true.
So since that's the case, I don't know if you know this, but soon, we planned on starting an overdub project.
Yes. I've told him about this.
We would.
Yeah, I do know about this.
We wish to do the entire MCU. Are you wanting to be a part of that?
Yeah.
Are you wanting to be a part of that?
I mean,
You had seemed excited
Yes.
about it when I first told you.
it just seems like a lot.
Well, yeah, but you know,
Well, we're not talking about doing it all at once.
No, that would suck.
Well, like I told Dolphy, as long as there's a solid plot line that we
Yeah.
can follow, I'd be okay with that.
Well, look, I mean, the first one we did, the whole plot line we had was there was a list of children and their addresses, and a certain group of individuals was trying to get that list of their addresses so bad things could happen.
And at the same time,
There was a world shortage
Of
of
toilet
toilet paper.
and for some reason, the toilet paper was more important.
Yes, it was. But that was the entire plot that we had for that,
Yeah.
and it worked.
It was great. I can rip off my face.
That was the Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can rip off my face.
I didn't see that one.
It's like, would you like a stick of gum? What kind of gum? The most expensive gum you'll ever see in your life.
It worked.
It was great.
We even had a little. We had an acoustic there that we could do the
Yeah.
in the background.
It was
This
wonderful.
actually does sound familiar now. Actually,
That
Well,
one,
I mean, it's not. It wasn't Origins.
no. That one was just
No,
me and James. And then we did we did Mortal Kombat the first time.
With your brother.
He wasn't a part of the first one.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Yeah, he was still raiding. That's
Oh,
why we
okay.
used him again the second time.
Oh yeah. And I remember
But I think the first one you were Liu Kang and I was Shang Tsung.
yes.
But we switched it up for the second one.
We did. And then we did Origins.
But on that second one, we also brought in NR. Yeah.
oh yeah. I'll bleep it out. NR.
Ner.
NR or WN?
I'm confused now.
It was weird.
He was weird. We'll just do that.
Isn't that
He was
He
weird.
was a weird guy.
he was weird.
He was really
Absolutely.
weird.
He still is weird.
Yeah,
I'm
but we
sure
we
he
brought
is.
him in for that one. He didn't do a whole lot.
No, but he was kind of funny. He was.
Yeah.
The Sub-Zero was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I like my Liu Kang on that.
I love my Shang Tsung.
I think they work well.
Yeah. The Liu Kang was great. It was like, so there, and there,
And over there.
and way the hell over here, down there.
Yeah, he just kept doing that the whole damn time.
Yeah. And every time he moved his head, it'd go,
Yeah, it'd have the whip for the hair.
it'd go.
And your brother's Johnny Cage was effectively.
Napoleon Dynamite.
God.
And I love the crunchiness. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah, the crunchiness was
All
good.
I'm gonna say.
And Goro.
Oh,
I loved Kano too.
Yeah. For that, yeah, Goro.
Okay.
Goro was a brilliant scientist.
Brilliant, I tells you.
And yeah, he had a really small penis. And so he was attempting to do genetic augmentation to make his penis bigger, and that ended up with him with 2 extra arms. His penis was still really small, but because of the extra arms, he made a killing in the porn industry.
And Viva La Goro, part 4. The part 4 fucking killed me, dude. Because it wasn't Viva La Goro, parts 1 through 4. It's Viva La Goro, part 4. But he wasn't in the other one.
No, just 4 was the best.
That's funny.
He was still trying to figure it out on the
Oh,
first
yeah,
3.
yeah. He's like,
He was like, I am Goro.
I am Goro.
See, he is not Goro.
Are you Goro? No, you are not Goro.
But I am Goro.
So funny.
The Sancho Orgasmo, you know.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, you didn't
You
laugh.
have the guitar.
He didn't find
Well,
it
I was
funny.
wondering if you had the guitar for it too. I am Goro.
So I told James this. I actually watched that here recently with my wife because she had never seen it, and I thought she likes South Park. She'll like Orgasmo. She laughed in
I
spots.
doubt it.
She laughed in spots, but at the end of it, she's like, okay, so it was cute here and there. She's like, but you find this funny? I'm like, I find it hilarious.
And Shota Boy.
Yeah, like, cause dude, I was laughing my ass off during the Sancho shit, and she was just looking at me like, he's just saying his name. I was like, I know. It was good. I enjoyed watching it again.
I watched basketball not too long ago.
Basketball's great.
I
too.
love
Oh,
basketball.
dude, I love basketball.
I think it's funny how they hate basketball.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah, it's
What's their best one?
they didn't this is going to be funny when you say it like that. They didn't write it.
Oh.
That's
Really?
that's the whole thing. Yeah, Basketball, if I remember right, was made by the Naked Gun people. Like all the people that did that type of stuff, they did that, and they were just actors in it. They got to improv a little bit, but most of that was just the script.
But it was so
Which is
good.
probably why they didn't like it as much, because they didn't have as much involvement in it.
But it was so good.
You couldn't tell though, because they seemed like they would do all kinds of shit that they would normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I never would have known that.
No, I wouldn't have
A
either.
little disappointed. But it's still a fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah. We got bitch. You're my new best friend.
We're
What?
going to the park.
We going to the zoo?
And I should have been gone. Dude, I told you no more Journey psychouts.
Shit.
I should have
I
been
don't know how many
gone.
times. Me and my brother went to see that in the theater. I can't tell you, dude. Probably 8, 9, 10, 11 times.
It was
We
good.
went and saw that movie, dude. It was so fucking
I
funny.
think I saw Super Troopers in the theater like 3 times.
Oh, wow.
I did not see that in the theater. I remember watching it at your house on VHS when it finally came out. It was the first time I ever saw it.
Well, I went.
There's a big group of us over at your place, and that wasn't the only movie that we rented. By the way, kids, you used to be able to rent VHS tapes for a few days at a time and return them to a place called Blockbuster.
Or family video.
Anyway, or Family Video. But we did have a Blockbuster.
And movies to
Charlestown.
go in Charlestown.
Movies, yeah, that was the second option.
Yeah.
They were smaller, but they would have everything you couldn't find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there was a Roadrunner in Charlestown, too.
that before it was a Blockbuster.
Yeah,
Yes, it was a
Roadrunner
Roadrunner.
video.
Before was, yeah, I remember that. But anyway, so I remember watching that movie for the first time with like 6 or 7 of us piled in your living room,
That sounds
and
about
it
right.
was fucking hilarious.
Well, I remember I
God, dude.
went and saw it with one of my friends and his girlfriend, and we wanted to go see a movie, but they had no idea what they wanted to see, and nothing was starting around then. And I remember seeing previews for that and going, I want to see that. So I talked them into watching that, and it was great. You know,
Yeah.
everybody was laughing, and then like a week later, I was with another friend who's like, "You want to go see a movie?" I don't know what to go see. And I was like, "Watch this! I'm telling you, it's great." And so I watched it again, and then that happened a third time,
That's so funny.
and I loved it every time.
It's good. It is good. I've still
It
never
is
seen the
good.
second one.
I like the second one.
The second one's okay.
It's not as good as
I
the
don't
first.
dislike it.
Have you
No.
have you watched the firefighter show
Oh
that they
my
have
God, yeah.
on Netflix?
Oh, Tacoma SD?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I
It's
watched
so-
it.
That's
so
pretty
funny.
good. That's pretty
It's
good.
okay.
I
It's
like
pretty
it.
good.
It's not pretty good.
It's
not
pretty.
pretty
It's
good.
good.
It's
I
pretty
like
good.
It makes me happy.
I don't dislike it. It's all right. I laugh at it, but I'm not like, oh my god, this show is so funny.
I think it's
By
funny as
any
hell.
means.
I like almost anything Broken Lizard makes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, see, like I
did-
didn't like Beer Trip too much. Is it called Beer Trip? Beer Fest.
Beer Fest. I didn't.
Beer Fest.
Wasn't
Beer
there,
Fest
wasn't there
Beer
another
Fest
one
was
where
great.
they were like in the Caribbean or something?
Oh, Club Dread.
Yeah,
Club Dread?
yeah, that one.
I've never seen that
That's
one.
That's the movie I did not like.
Yeah, that was the only one I was a little
couldn't
iffy
stand
on.
it.
But I like Beer Fest. Okay.
Now I
Beer
love
Fest.
Slam and Salmon.
I don't think I've seen that.
I've not seen that one either.
Oh, Slam and Salmon is great, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's pretty
They
good.
they
Yeah, it's all right.
they run. they're all part of a restaurant. Okay, and the guy that
Like
runs the
waiting?
restaurant that owns it is Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh,
He's an
okay.
ex-boxer.
well, that ought to.
And
Okay,
he's really like explosive and mean and shit. And
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I'm sold.
Jay Chanassekar, he's got like this multiple personality disorder.
I'm in.
If he doesn't take
I'm
his
in.
medicine,
We need to watch this now.
Yeah, yeah.
yes, you have to watch Slam and Salmon.
Hey,
It's
speaking
great.
speaking of movies though, I was bringing up one to Dolph the other day, and he had never heard of it. I was wanting to see if you remember it.
Oh yeah.
There's a movie called Johnny Dangerously.
I watched that last year
Mike-
again,
look at
actually.
Michael Keaton and yeah.
Michael Keaton as a mobster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling him he should
Johnny
watch it.
Dangerously.
I haven't yet.
Oh, dude. Yeah. It's
Okay.
a classic.
I'll watch
Gotta
it.
see it.
There you go. There's another.
I loved it when I was a kid, man.
there's another vote
And they
for
had it. They had it on, I think, HBO Max last year.
Really? Okay. I'll look for it.
And I was like, oh,
Hell
it's a
yeah.
Big Dangerous.
Hell
So I
yeah.
watched it.
Hell
it was
yeah.
great.
Hell yeah.
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 Wow,
Yeah.
fucking Kite Man.
I love Kite Man.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Kite Man. I will watch it.
You should.
If you
I haven't
like
watched
if you
it yet,
liked
but-
Harley, I think you'll like Kite Man, but make sure you finish Harley first.
Okay. That's fair.
I gotta
It's
watch
important.
my last 2 episodes so I can start on Kite Man.
Hell yeah.
Didn't you say Bane is in Kite Man too? A lot?
Yeah, a lot.
Good. Good. Bane's funny
I
as
don't know
hell.
why everyone makes fun of me.
I want my pasta mega. I'll blow up this building.
I love all that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the trying to blow up the coffee shop. That I love that.
I love whenever his card gets declined and he's at the place where, and she's like, some of your transactions look suspicious. And she's like, judging by all this, I think you're depressed. Maybe she's right. Maybe I'm depressed.
I love the way they wrote it.
I told you you would like Bane.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny.
Good shit.
He started watching. He watched the first couple episodes, and he's like, "I was like, how you like Bane?" He's like, "Yeah, he's okay. I don't know." And then he watched
give
a
it
little,
time.
watched a little further, and then all of a sudden,
Oh, dude. It's so funny. It's good stuff, man. It's just good stuff.
I just wish that I would see like a. I mean, that's unfortunately that's the closest to Bane. But I it's not that Tom Hardy did bad, but I want to see an accurate Bane.
I don't think an accurate Bane would play well in a live action.
I want to see it.
Because it was pretty close in fucking Batman and Robin. And it was,
No. Okay, look, he was still really stupid.
he was
Bane is like one of the-
incredibly smart. I know.
Yes, incredibly intelligent.
I know that, but I mean, like as
And
far
Spanish.
as far as the look and the Venom goes, like Batman and Robin,
They did that.
and it looked ridiculous.
It did, but everything in that movie looked ridiculous.
I know, but
They had bat nipples.
I agree.
Bat
I
nipples.
know. I fully agree. I
Nipples.
can't stand it. I'm with you. You're gonna say it again, aren't you?
I was going to.
I knew it.
Bat nipples.
Damn it.
No, but they
Bat
also
nipples.
remember the whole I'll get takeout. The bat credit card.
So stupid.
How the fuck? Okay, with how much shit you got to go through to get a credit card? Okay, you got to like do in your name, your social security. Does Batman have a social security number?
So maybe, because I've thought about that. Maybe what he actually did was maybe he bought like a prepaid debit card.
Did they have those back then?
I don't know.
I don't think they did.
Do you think that?
They might have.
No.
They had
Well, let's.
they had gift cards, but I
well,
don't think they had those back then.
I don't know, dude.
He just spent all his time. He just like got a McDonald's gift card and then just painted a little batarang on it.
I
and
mean,
went,
like,
"Yeah."
with how smart Batman is, don't you think he could have like printed it, made his own fucking card, and like loaded his own money on it?
Well, wouldn't that be a crime?
True.
not if it's his account.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but what if they have him? What if they want to pull out his ID? Sometimes you got to pull out your ID to use your card. Is it just gonna be like Batman?
They're
Batman.
not gonna ask Batman. Would
Can you
you ask
imagine,
Batman for
except-
something that he would not want to do?
Could you imagine? I mean, I know in the movie they did that. I'll get takeout, but they actually had that commercial at that time where you could see the
yeah.
fucking Batmobile at like in the
McDonald's.
drive-through at McDonald's. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I mean, there is that one
could.
guy that does that,
Yes.
and that's great. But he's
I
just
love
in
it.
like a regular car. But that's funny. Just pulls up to the drive-through window in the mask and just, starts talking like Batman the whole time.
Yeah. I
This
would like a McDouble, the side of justice.
It's funny.
Man. But no, yeah, Bat Nipples. I'm with you. I hate that movie. But my whole point was I think a live action Bane would
Or-
just look
or fu-
really dumb.
or remember, like, Mr. Freeze. Like,
Stupid.
Arnold. But even besides all the...
I love Arnold, but damn.
Even besides all the
Damn,
whole
Mr.
singing the
Freeze.
White Christmas and all that stuff, he was like smoking a frozen cigar.
I know.
How does that work? I'm just serious. I mean, how does that work?
How could it stay hot enough?
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
with
And
you.
they actually put like Batgirl in heels. How are you supposed to fight crime like that?
Well, we could
Well, to
spend.
be fair, I mean, they put damn near every super chick in heels just on
Yeah,
purpose.
I was gonna say,
so,
dude, we
I mean,
could sit here for the rest of the episode and just nitpick and tear apart Batman and Robin because it wouldn't be hard to do. It wouldn't be, but like,
it's been easy so far.
yeah. But the main point is Bane would look stupid
With
in
bat nipples, yes.
in live action format if they did it accurately. I like the look of the Tom Hardy thing. I think it brings.
I think
like
the
a,
look was okay. I still would have preferred the Venom be there.
I
But
just-
and you know what? That's the thing. We can make fun of, you know, how much we love the Bane voice on the Harley and everything. And I know they're going for that voice.
yeah.
And I'd be okay if he even had that voice as long as he was actually smart. And even like the Tom Hardy one, I mean, he was smart. He still didn't seem like Bane though.
I don't know. I liked it. I did like
Eh.
it. I mean, we can argue. We can disagree. That's fine. You're wrong.
There's always room for improvement, but I
Ah,
thought, I
take
thought
that.
Bane
But I don't think he,
was okay. It was okay.
It was okay.
Tom Hardy.
It was okay.
I liked it. I'm not saying it was.
I mean,
perfect, but I liked it.
they're not gonna get 100% accurate. You know, I mean, you gotta trial and error all that kind of shit.
So, like the Christopher Nolan
Yeah.
movies, were trying to bring a more realistic feel to it. And I think the reason the Venom wasn't there, truthfully, is because like how realistic. You're talking about like women fighting in heels. Like how realistic if a man's got like Venom, like tubes and shit. If the moment Batman realizes, oh, he's getting extra strength because of that, he's gonna fucking get rid of the tubes,
Which is how it happens in the comics.
and it's a flaw and it's stupid.
That's fair.
Yes, but that's the whole thing. He goes for that purpose.
I'm just saying.
That's like his one weakness.
I'm
That's
just
why
saying,
you go
it's
for
not
it.
realistic.
And that's what Batman does. He exploits that weakness.
Yeah.
But that's like an obvious weakness.
Yes.
We're talking about like Batman, like supposed to be
Yeah.
smart and figuring out people's weaknesses.
Yes.
It's like going, wonder what his weakness is.
Probably the tubes going
It's probably them tubes.
Yeah.
And then someone
you
going,
go
you
for it.
think
Not
Batman?
everybody.
Like everyone could figure
Not
that out.
everybody has those
Yeah.
tubes.
But the point is, just because you can figure it out doesn't mean that you could take care of it.
Realistically, you could. It's super simple.
Is it?
I would think so.
You think you could like just sneak up to him and pull the tubes?
I don't think I could sneak up on him, but like if we got in a fight, like
He would
It's-
hit you once and you would die.
he would try to
That's
hit
how
me,
it works.
and I would if I was
Yeah.
if I was
And if
lucky
they- and
enough
if-
to avoid it, I would just like do a little fucking roll behind him, grabbing a tube and yanking it out.
I think
Easy.
I think you were
I
underestimating
mean,
him.
I think you're underestimating
Ye-
general people.
I don't.
I think
general
you-
people swing wildly. Okay, so
Not just that, but again, if you know like the Bane stuff, I mean, you're not gonna beat that man in a fight.
I'm not talking about beating him in a fight. I'm talking about just
And
getting
if
rid of the
he's-
tubes.
If he
And
knows that's
if
his
he's
one
got
weakness,
those tubes-
do you not think he's trying to protect those tubes?
And if he's constantly trying to protect the
Exactly.
tubes, you just kick him in the balls
And you know, if you want to go, hey,
and grab the tubes.
if you want to go, hey, it's not realistic, that's fine. I understand that. You don't have to make the man like, you know, grow 2 feet every time you do the Venom. You can do that. Just switch it into like liquid meth or something, and there you go. I mean, that's Bane. It makes sense. It's the same concept. Can't hurt the guy, and he's like, "Roar," and
But then
just-
he'd be
yeah.
fucking like then he wouldn't be fighting and like causing problems. He'd be like fucking like cleaning people's houses and shit.
He's laughing, but I'm not wrong.
no, you're not wrong. That's why I'm laughing.
I'm just saying, dude. Like
And he does clean houses when he's not doing crime. Okay.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Bane made
He comes
services.
in. He's like, I gotta do something because he's all juiced up. And he's like, and then he fucking rips the house apart, rips the people apart. He's like, well, I better clean this up. And
You
then
need
he
your
just
dishes
fucking
done. $20.
goes to town.
I'm running out of meth.
Like, I need another juice. And then and he fucking grabs a broom and a rag and fucking 409 and bleach. And he's like, I gotta make it sparkly clean. And he goes to town.
Fuck, dude.
I better get rid of these bodies. And he just eats them.
He eats them?
Why not?
Why not? He's a like, I got a triple juice. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And just munches them down. Who knows? Dude takes care of his shit. He's never bored.
Fair enough. That was funny.
Just a little lonely.
Just a little lonely. The Kurt. Do you remember at Phoenix Hill, like that little spot next on the Sky Bar?
But behind the bar, like above the bar,
Yeah.
where you could peek out from behind the curtain and
That's
stare
not
at
what I was going
everybody.
to say. I was actually going to say, like, up on the Sky Bar, like right next to the Sky Bar, that little cubby area that had the little wooden cutouts of the people you could stick your faces in.
Yes.
Do you remember catching people back there?
Yes.
Yeah. That was funny. You don't remember catching people?
That's
like
not where I caught people.
I caught people all the time. back
I
there.
didn't catch people there. I caught people at another place.
Where?
On the right side of the stage in the roof garden.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
behind that curtain where the band would usually
Yeah.
hang out.
That was a good
fucking
spot,
roof
too.
garden.
Well, I remember, yeah, just I was walking and getting everybody out of there.
Yeah.
Because remember, everybody could stay like out in the porch for like the last half hour, but we had to clear out the rest of the bar.
Mhm.
And I was getting everybody out of the garden, and then I looked over, and this guy had a girl just bent over going at it behind that curtain,
Oh.
That's wonderful.
and I was like, huh. And I was like, well, do I bother him, or I mean, I gotta make him go? And then he turned around and he had looked at me, and I like pointed at my wrist like I was watching it. Gave him 5 minutes, and I walked away, and he was like, and gave me a big thumbs up, and then just started going harder, and I walked away.
You're a nice guy, James. You're a nice guy.
Damn it.
No, I never personally at Phoenix Hill, but there were 2 times that I did at Porter's, in 2 different spots. I know,
Where you did?
yeah.
Oh,
No, okay, so the first time was not a full thing. It was just this girl was like, hey, you know, blah, blah. You probably remember it. Mardi Gras?
you're talking about by the cigarette machine.
Yep.
In that little room.
It would pass the little saloon door in Porter's, like in the Melody Bar. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I got an oral presentation given to me in that little area for about 30 to 45 seconds until I was like, "We're gonna get caught. Stop!" And we wrapped it up. But then the other time was like fucking full on, and it was in the marquee room.
Oh.
But that was girlfriend at the time.
Oh. Well, there you go.
And I know,
Marquee room. That was upstairs, right?
yeah, that was.
Well,
upstairs.
you remember, yeah, remember you had to like go
Outside.
outside and then go in that other door and go up the stairs
Right, yeah.
where all the letters
Yeah,
were.
okay.
I just remember when JM worked with us and he kept taking girls up to the little security room
Oh yeah, yeah,
upstairs in the balcony bar.
yeah. Where the ice was.
Yeah,
Yep.
fantastic.
It
Yeah.
was like the place for that, for sure.
Did you ever?
Dude, not other than the under the table thing we talked about
Gotcha.
earlier.
I was curious.
I remember there was that one chick that out in the house of Yamcha. After one of those, yeah. After one of those, he's still laughing. It was after one of those big parties.
Okay.
There was a girl that was really bad. You know, she was like way too much, and she sat there in the chair. Her friends dropped her off there, said they'd come back and get her, and I had to watch her.
Yeah, okay.
And I had to watch her, and I was just like standing there, and she was like, "Are you gonna fuck me?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And she was like, "Oh." And then she just like pulled her stuff. She was wearing these little shorts, just pulled it to the side and had everything. I was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And she was like, "Oh." And then she called me, yeah, basically a homosexual, but in a not nice way.
Well, you were in the house of Yamcha.
I remember that
funny.
though. That was funny.
That is. Funny.
When you were in the marquee room, were you like holding up like letters and going like, "Oh, it's for oral."
That's funny. No, no. I was too preoccupied.
D is for doggy.
No. That is funny though.
And she's like, "Don't you dare pick up the A."
L is for load.
As in the laundry you're gonna do when we get home.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was bad.
That is funny.
That was funny.
Yeah. Yo.
No, that's cool though. I would have. I remember at one of those parties, they had stationed me in the middle of that hallway right next to the sports bar.
I've been there a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a horrible spot for those parties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I hated it.
I remember being stuck there before, and this really, really hot black chick came up to me, and I was like, "It's time," because I always wanted to, and I never got the opportunity.
Same.
And I thought the first one was.
What?
I thought that's what you had told. I thought the girl you had lost it to was.
No.
I thought so. I thought that's what you had
No.
told me.
No.
Weird.
No,
What?
that came later.
No.
No, but anyway, she came up and she was talking to me, and we were like flirting back and forth. She had one of those like birthday pins on,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember that like I said, we were flirting back and forth, and then she was like, "You ever been with a black girl?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, not yet. I mean, I'm hoping." And she was like, "No, well, buy me a drink. Maybe we can get this going on." And so I bought her a drink, and then she came back and started hanging out. And I remember bought her another drink, and then she said at the end of the night, she was like, "How about you be the one walking me back to my car at the end?"
No shit.
And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then she'd like went to the bathroom, and then I couldn't find her. And then I looked, and little hothead John
Oh no.
was walking her across the parking lot. And I remember he didn't come back for like 20 minutes, and he was looking all smiley when he came back, and I was like, "You little motherfucker."
He stole your he stole your
Son of a
candy.
bitch.
He took your candy.
Damn it.
No, I remember being posted up in the Melody Bar during one of those parties, and I was there by that little fire exit door, and and I was just sitting in my little chair, and I was just watching, and there was a black girl sitting at the little table, like right there, close to the bar, or to the exit, and she was sitting with some people, and she's like, she kept like going, hey, security, and she was just like winking at me. Every time I look over, I'd be like, "Oh, what's up?" And she'd just wink at me. And finally, she walked over there, and she was like, she did the same thing. She was like, "You ever fuck a black girl?" I was like, "Nope." She's like, "You want to? We're freaks." And I'm like, I've got a girlfriend. I was like, "I've got a girlfriend." And she's like, "I ain't gonna tell nobody." I'm like, "That's cool. Still can't." And she was just like, "We get the best head, right?" I'm like, I'm not doubting your skills, but no, got a girlfriend. I got a couple opportunities, but I always had a girlfriend at the time.
I think I might have at that time, but it was an opportunity, and yeah.
I thought about it.
I was an asshole back then. I've been good. I'm a good boy now.
Yeah, me too.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
When I worked there, I did not.
I believe you.
I had opportunities,
I
sure,
believe
but,
it. I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it too.
But I did not. Plus, most of the time, they stuck me on the meet and greet door. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it
There
took
was
a
that.
long time for me to get off that door,
Dude, I fucking.
and then I had
Well-
and then I had to keep petitioning to get him off of it because they kept him on it.
You know what pissed me off, dude, is like,
well, the owner and Mr. J.M. They had talked, and they loved me on the meet and greet door. They didn't want me to leave it.
yeah.
They said I was the best person they had for that in years.
You like JM?
Because I was the one before you.
That's
JW.
yeah. That's not who I
Oh,
was.
was that JW?
Yeah.
Oh, well, either way. But, because, people would show it, and I'd be like, fucking
Yeah, I know,
come in and get
I remember.
shitty, and I just open the door, and I'd be all goofy and fucking and Me and your brother was working valet, so we would just bullshit and do
Yeah,
things.
I remember. I remember when I got on valet, I started bringing my guitar in all the time,
I remember that.
and it was good at first. I remember like the owner came out and he was liking it. And I was just playing for people, and people were staying there watching me, and I was doing, because that's when I was playing a lot, so I was on my shit then.
Yeah.
And it was doing good, and then he had no problem with it whatsoever, but his wife,
Yeah, she didn't like it.
yeah, she didn't like it. She
Oh,
came out and she was like, "Yeah, you're pretty good." And I was like, "Oh, well, thank you." And she was like, "You know what? It'd be even better if we could sell drinks out here." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that'd be better." And then all of a sudden, then the manager lady came out after that, and she was like, "Yeah, they said you can't do that anymore." I was like, "Oh,
Now I remember.
shit.
I remember working at Porter's and finally getting tired of the bullshit. I'm not gonna say what I did on the podcast, but I did some shit trying to solve a problem that really just made the problem 10 times worse. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah."
And
That happens.
and it forced me to just resign completely. I did. I quit, and then I remember I was off work for 2 days to quit, and I got a call from her, who we were just talking about. She's
The
like,
manager?
no,
Oh, the owner.
yeah, and she was like, "Did you really quit?" I'm like, "I did," and she's like, "Why?" And I explained to her why, and I was like, "Look, it got worse." No. She's like, "I get it." She's like, "But I don't want to lose you." And I'm like, "Well, I appreciate that, but I'm not coming back." She's like, "Will you work at the Hill for me?" I'm like, "I will. I will work at the Hill." And I did. I worked at the Hill for a long time. And then the big toe of security, he got fired.
The
And
big toe.
And I called Dennis, and I'm like, "So I heard the big toe's gone." I didn't call him that, but he's like, "He is." And I'm like, "I want that spot." And he goes, "I think you'd be good for it." I was like, "Okay, so what do I need to do?" He's like, "Well, just, come in, apply for it." And yeah, he's like, "Well, you got to be working here too." I was like, "Can I come back?" He's like, "Come on over." I'm like, "All right." So I went back to work at Porter's, and I put in my application. Really thought I was going to get it, and they gave it to Eddie.
I remember.
And when Eddie got it,
Yeah.
I was fine with it. And I told Eddie, I'm like, "Cool." I was like, "Well, I'm back to work." He's like, "Man, I'm glad you're back over here." Like, I had a lot of new guys and blah, blah, blah. And then Eddie started putting me on the door and making me do marquee every night. And I got fed up with it. And I'm like, I am not.
Didn't he make you the door captain, though?
No. You don't remember how that happened?
Well, I remember that I was filling in for door captain a lot while the old door captain was still there.
Eddie hated that I was door captain. Because this is how it happened. I'm surprised you don't remember that.
I remember Eddie was door captain sometimes.
Well, yeah, but he was the head.
Right.
Yeah. So what happened was he kept putting me on the door, and he kept making me do marquee, and I got tired of it. But I couldn't do anything about the door. So I remember one night he came up and we closed. He's like, "All right, man, marquee," and I'm like, "I'm not doing it." He's like, "What do you mean you're not doing it?" I was like, "I'm clocking out. I'm going home." He's like, "You're not doing marquee," and I'm like, "No." He's like, "You're not even gonna do locks." I'm like, "No." And
I remember that.
and I started doing that every night.
I know that. I remember that.
Yeah, and he didn't do shit about it. And then I remember we had one of those meetings, the big,
Uh-huh.
and I remember Dennis coming in there for it, and he openly in front of everybody was like, "John, let me ask you a question." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Eddie tells me you've been kind of insubordinate and tell him you're not going to do stuff and just clocking out and leaving and not helping." I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Yes." And he goes, "Why?" And I told him
Why?
And I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Because," I was like, "I've been here for a long time, and he's putting me on the door every night. He's making me do marquee every night." I was like, "I'm not a grunt. I'm a seasoned person, and I should be, where I'm really needed." And he goes, "I don't doubt that. You want to be door captain?" I was like, "Sure."
I do remember that because that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I had been doing the door captain stuff, and I was like, "You motherfucker."
I got promoted for being insubordinate.
He got promoted to the job I had been doing for not extra money.
Yeah. And Eddie was pissed because I remember being at your house, and this was after you guys had left that apartment and moved to Clarksville. And I remember you talking to Eddie on the phone. We had a promoter party coming up, and he said something. You guys were talking. He was talking about me on the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, when he gets here, I just want to take a pair of scissors and cut that stupid tie of his." Eddie hated me after that. He fucking did.
Oh, me and Eddie were good though. Eddie was always good to me.
Yeah, but then he
I
became
didn't
an
have a problem
alcoholic,
with
and I
Eddie.
got his job.
Yeah. That was funny.
And then after I had gotten his job, he had come back months later, and he came in drunk, and I got to.
You got to make
fire
him leave?
Yeah, I got to leave, make him leave, fire him. It's wonderful. It's like fuck
Nice.
you, dude. Sorry, made me sound so mean, but no, he was a dick.
You remember when we almost got in trouble for taking care of a problem while we were off the clock that the people on the clock wouldn't take care of for the big toe? There was a guy that was threatening to beat up the big toe. They had kicked him out and he was coming back, and
Yes.
everybody was making like this big wall around him,
Yeah.
and Big Toe was like pushing through it trying to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, once this guy was doing all that, he finally just said, take him down.
Yeah.
Because the guy was like getting all crazy and trying to get past everybody, and everybody froze
Yeah.
and wouldn't do anything. And it was me and you.
Yeah.
Me and you, I was the one that grabbed him, but you went out too with me.
Yeah.
And I was the one that grabbed him, put him straight on the ground, just held him. And I was like, what do you want me to do, boss?
Yeah. I mean, your boss tells you to do something, you do it.
Yeah, and then they were like, well, you all were off the clock, so I don't know, but you might be in trouble. You might blah, 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 and all this other stuff. We were fine, though.
Yeah, we were good.
That's bullshit.
They were just, we were mad because nobody else did it. And I was like, you should be mad at them.
Yeah.
They're on the
absolutely.
clock. They're supposed to be doing this, not us.
Mm-hmm.
But,
right?
but we were out there with him, and he wanted us out there with him
He did.
because we took care of shit.
Yeah. Well, fantastic.
It was good times.
I think that's a good stopping point.
Yeah, probably.
You got any final words, Anthony?
This episode was not brought to you by D's Nuts.
It was not.
But it should be.
It definitely should be.
It should be.
Mrs. D,
And
hook us up with some nuts.
We will give you.
they're very tasty.
We have been giving you free promotion. We will continue to do so, but we would like to give you paid promotion
So give us some money.
because we would like money and your nuts.
Yeah, money and nuts.